richly God has decked thee. O Christmas tree, O Christmas tree, how richly God has decked thee. Thou bidst us true and faithful be, and trust in God unchangingly. O Christmas tree, O Christmas tree, how richly God has decked thee.
Dang, did you hear the last verse of "Oh Christmas Tree"? I never knew that. I've never listened to that whole song. What's up? I've never listened to that whole song. Let's listen to that again. Sounded like a Christian song. Don't worry, guys. We're not doing that. We're not doing Christmas is not pagan until next Monday. Because you know what next Monday is? Next Monday is Christmas time. Let's listen to that one more time. Gay and bright. Oh, Tannenbaum. What's up, Matthew? How richly God has decked thee. I didn't know this was in the song.
Christmas tree, how richly God has decked thee. Thou bidst us true and faithful be, and trust in God.
What did you just say? How bits is true and faithfully? I know, everything gotta be gay and bright on Christmas. What the heck? Every song. But look, I didn't even know the end of "Oh Christmas Tree." It turned into a Christian song.
Unchangingly, oh Christmas tree, how richly God has decked thee.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. They don't let you hear that second verse. They don't let you hear that end of the song. What the heck? You didn't say hi to me. Flat Earth Seasal. What's up, Flat Earth Seasal? What's up, Matthew? I know everything gotta be gay and bright for Christmas. We got a little show today. We're gonna have a chill, relaxed show. Dark stuff in the beginning at Christmas time, kind of, but at the same time, we're gonna watch some movie trailers, so maybe it'll be fun. I don't know if I get in trouble for playing movie trailers on YouTube. I'm just gonna make sure I pause a lot and talk a lot. And then if they say that's not transformative enough, I'm gonna say shut up. I'm gonna challenge it. What's up, Dean? Dean asking some deep philosophical questions. I don't know who started war, Dean. Probably the first war was probably Satan and God, Lucifer and God. And then as fallen followers of Satan, we do the same. We make war. Yep. What's up, Dean? Oh yeah, Dean. Eventually I'm gonna send you a bottle of hot sauce because you sent me some money. I saw last week you said something in chat and I didn't understand what you were saying. And then I checked my Cashapp later and Dean had hit it up. So I'll send you a bottle of I'll save a bottle of the super hot for you. I've been pretty much eating them myself. But and they're not that hot either. They didn't come out. I need to do more peppers next year. Anyway, show plan today. Are we heading to war? Are we heading to war? The media is prepping us for it. The TikToks, the shorts, the reels. I'll show you PsyOp Girl. We'll watch the trailers for these movies that are coming out. Everything is like, are they preparing us? Is it Satan telling us his plan before he does it? We got everything's pushing war on us. Military, join the military, talking about the draft a couple months ago. So we'll look at that stuff. Are we heading to a third world war? Seems pretty likely, especially if Joe Biden gets reelected. I think we'll be at war with like 4 different places at the same time with a weak military. Not good. Not good. We'll look at some movies. We'll look at some shorts that are pushing war on us. We'll talk about the demon red leather. The demon monument that Tommy always calling once the show starts. He's trolling. He's trolling. Uh, just thanks. If you got none left, don't fret it. Send it just to donate. Keep it going. No, I'll get you a bottle. I'll get you a bottle Christmas present. It might not get there by Christmas because I got to get a box, and I've just been real busy lately. But I'll get you a bottle out. You might have to resend me your address. I don't know. I don't know where you sent it to me last year. Um, the Demon Monument. We talked about a different Demon Monument at a Christmas tree thing in a church a couple weeks ago. And I guess there was another one put up like 5 days ago. And I didn't even talk about it last week because I didn't know about it until this week when it got vandalized by apparently a politician. So, base dude, they can rip down monuments. We'll rip down monuments. Let's talk about the Satan monument in a government building vandalized. Vivek body CNN. We watched that clip live during a gaming stream earlier, but we'll watch it during the show. The last like 5 minutes of it. Vivek bodies CNN body. And then the Ukraine grenade attack. I don't know about this one. I don't know if I can show. I mean, the video's on YouTube and it's ABC and everything's blurred out. You don't see no blood or anything. But crazy Ukraine grenade attack. I kind of feel like I'm gonna show the video just because it's insane. It's crazy. It's freaking nuts. You don't see anybody. You don't see any. Nothing. Limbs flying or anything like that. But it's just this Ukraine grenade attack is crazy. So we'll dip our toe into that. And then we got memes, we got reels. Rapid fire, we'll talk Israel updates and rapid fire with the hostage situation, the hostages that got shot. Some stuff about Giuliani, some updates, social media news, and weird cess stuff. We'll dip our toe into the gay cess tape shot in the dang Senate hearing room. Don't worry, guys. I won't show you that video. I haven't seen it yet. I don't go. This is why I don't go on X, because sometimes you just randomly get some X-rated stuff on X, and I gotta try to. I mean, it's bad enough with Facebook and YouTube sending me all these shorts of just these hot girls just standing there. Where they'll play the soundtrack with like a voice from an old movie. It's like Scarface saying, "Say hello to my little friend," and there'll be like some sexy girl wearing barely nothing, and she just goes, "Say hello to my," and she's just mouthing it. Pause. Those things pop up on the feed. They be popping up on the feed. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, X. So apparently this video is all over X, and all these conservatives are resharing it, which I think that's kind of gay too. But anyway, stop sharing the video. I'm not gonna play. We think I'm gonna play that on the stream? No, we're not gonna play it. Yeah, lots of you get them too, Matthew. And it's like if you click on one because you think, oh, maybe this beautiful young lady is saying something of value that's interesting. Let me just click on this for research purposes. Let's see what the young kids are doing. So I click on it, and then once you click on one, that's all you get. They're like, oh, we got him. We got him, boys. It was at that moment he knew he was beep. They got me. They got me. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I thought maybe she's got beauty and brains. I was wrong. Where's my soundboard at? Hold up. All right, let's bring up the news. I don't really feel like doing a lot of reading tonight, but we got to. We got to. I feel like you get more. I retain more information. Maybe it's just me. I retain more information when I read it. Then I take notes, and that commits it. So I read it once, write notes, then I read it again to you guys, and it kind of locks it in there, locks it up in there. What's up, Jeff Hewitt? I'm surprised you're not over at the Crucible Christmas thing. They're doing that. I shouldn't be plugging their content while I'm doing my show, but it's pretty interesting. They had Jay Dyer on there and Jim Bob and Andrews, and then some other guy. But supposedly, Elijah's going to be on there later. Hopefully, they don't remove it afterwards so I can watch it after. What's up, Flat Sabbath? I miss my memes. Yo. All right, let's get into this. Are we heading to World War III? New article from The Week. And I was, you know, I've been thinking this for a while, but I just looked to see if there was any articles about it. Doomsday scenario could see China, Russia, and Iran exploit war in the Middle East. They could exploit war in America and Korea. Everybody, BRICS, everybody. We need to tighten up. Russia is leading us to the brink of a third world war, says Volodymyr Zelensky, with its well, of course Zelensky's going to say that, with its invasion of Ukraine igniting global tensions and drawing ever starker battle lines between countries. Is that it, or is it that America just looks really weak right now? So everybody's moving their chess pieces. Everybody's going in for the attack. It's like we got the queen. We got the queen, boys. Unfortunately, well, Trump is the king, but he also is the queen because the queen's the most. I don't know. Some people say the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. I disagree with that. I think the queen is the most effective, but the king is what wins you the game. You don't win the game, you take the queen. Sometimes you'll sack your queen. You know, is Trump the king or the queen, or is he both? Anyway, maybe the country is the king and Trump is the queen. Pause. It just doesn't sound good calling the Trump the queen. But basically, they took out our queen. Now they're moving in for the kill on the king. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. They're putting their pieces into action because we look weak and because we're spread thin. We're going to be spread super thin. The Ukrainian president accused Moscow of lighting fires around the world, exporting conflicts everywhere from the Balkans to the Middle East. In an interview with The Sun, Zelensky accused Russia's President Vladimir Putin of exploiting Hamas' October attack on Israel, claiming the carnage was a really big wish of Russia. The U.S. and its allies were already in a new Cold War with China, argued historian Niall Ferguson in the Times, but Nigel. I'm thinking of Nigel Thornberry. But Russia's invasion of Ukraine was roughly equivalent to the Korean War during the First Cold War, revealing an ideological as well as geopolitical division between the countries of the Rimland. The Rimland. Never mind. They're talking about some Rimland up in the Senate House the other day. Stop. The Anglosphere, obvious globe, Western Europe and Japan, and those of the Eurasian heartland, China, Russia, and Iran plus North Korea. It's going to be a problem is what I'm getting at. The Middle East, Russia, China, artificial intelligence. Well, I didn't even figure that in there. Cyber attacks. They're going to shut the power grid. So speaking of that, so there's this idea, and the Obamas made this movie, Leave the World Behind, and I watched it the other day. It was a really good movie. I'm surprised blacks are entertaining. I mean, they probably should have stuck to making movies instead of politics. Either way, they were destined for greatness. You know, old Big Mike and Barack. Where's my soundboard? Anyway, so they put out this movie, and this movie is based on this real idea that the cheapest way to take out a country, disable a nation, would be to shut down their power grid and their communications through like a cyber attack. It would be the cheapest, most effective way to destroy a country. Forget about nukes, forget about missiles, forget about boots on the ground. You just shut down their power grid. You shut down communications. You take out the satellites. Yes, satellites are real. You take out the satellites, and then that's step one. Then step two is you distribute. There's one scene in the movie where there's a plane, and it looks like it's dropping some sort of gas or something, and the guy freaks out, and he's trying to drive away from it. And you're like, what is that? Is it acid rain? What is it? And when he flies over the car, it's just flyers. And he looks at the flyer, and it's Middle Eastern, Arab language on the flyer, and it says "Death to America." But then they find out that somebody else, during another time, they were dropping flyers in places with Korean language saying like the same thing. Anyway, it's disinformation campaign is what I'm getting at. So step 2, you confuse the masses, you sow disinformation, you do a big disinformation campaign. So then people are like, what's going on here? What's going on? And then you just let the country rip itself apart. And that's why everybody's touting this as a Civil War movie. So I thought going into watching it that it was going to be about the next American Civil War, and that it was going to be focused around like people fighting, Americans fighting in this Civil War. Really, it wasn't about that at all. There's one line at the very end of the movie where he's explaining this, and he says, and basically you start a civil war. The people tear each other apart. And that's the only reference to a civil war. But the movie focuses around two families that are out in the middle of nowhere, so they survive the initial onslaught. They're not in the city, and bombs are being dropped on the city, and people are killing each other, but they're not in the city. It all takes place isolated in the woods. So the movie was really good. It was not what I was expecting going into it. Let's watch the trailer, and I'll tell you some cool parts of it without trying to spoil it too much. Really, there's nothing to spoil. Spoiler alert, the ending sucks. So there's, yeah, don't waste your time if you don't like bad endings. Spoiler alert. All right. The audio.
This morning, and I rented us a beautiful house out by the beach.
It's got I thought this was Benedict Cumberbatch, or what the heck's that guy? I thought this was Doctor Strange, but it's not Doctor Strange. It's a different guy. Now I can't remember his name. But then the other girl is dang old Julia Roberts. I like Julia Roberts, but she's got a real wide, flat mouth. Like that. It looks weird. Benedict Cumberbatch. That's not him. That's not Doctor Strange. Anyway, so they go on vacation.
I figured if I made the reservation and packed our bags, it would eliminate most of the reasons to say no.
So see, it starts off, they go on vacation to this big, nice house. But then, of course, it's made by the Obamas. They try to sow a little racial division in because this is like an Airbnb. I'm going to kind of spoil some of the movie. So if you guys want to come back in like 5 minutes, if you haven't watched it yet, but it's, I'm not going to, it is what it is. It's not that spoiler worthy. Like nothing's really going to be spoiled, But so they go to this house, and then the family who actually owns the house is a black guy and his daughter, and they show up, and it's like, do they really own the house? And it's kind of a mystery for the first chunk of the movie. It's like a mystery. Are these people really the owners of the house, or did they kill the owners, and what's going on? But that's just like a little side plot that I think the Obamas had to put in there to show that, it's like, oh, she doesn't trust them because they're black when they show up at the door, and they're like, you don't trust us because we're black. And then by the end, it's like, why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? So kind of changes up. They go to the house.
Get a bat.
They play some Jenga, get a bat. See the black people. See, this is all in the preview, so I'm not really spoiling anything. Oh, he black.
I'm so sorry to bother you at this.
So, they black, but they got suits on, and this is a really nice house, and she's like, I don't think this is your house. What? There's a swimming pool in the backyard. There's no way this is your house.
This is our house.
This is your house.
Best-selling novel. I didn't read the novel. Maybe the novel's better. But then look, check this out. This big boat pull up.
Everything is going to be okay, isn't it?
We are seeing ongoing cyber attacks across the country.
Yeah, so they use this sound thing that they're showing, that like this high frequency, and they talk about that. We've talked about that on the show, the Cuban microwave tests that they were doing with freaking satellites with freaking lasers on their freaking heads, and they were beaming down microwaves that was like giving people teeth falling out, getting sick, and all that stuff. And so they're doing that. They're dropping the flyers.
Something is happening, and I don't trust them.
Business.
That's the craziest part, though. So I don't want to spoil that part. I kind of already did in the stream the other day if you were watching. Kevin Bacon's in the movie.
You do is your
This part right here is crazy. When this scene first starts, you're like, what are they gonna? Is this like a jab at Elon? Because these are all Teslas. All Teslas. It's like, is this a jab at Elon? Like, oh, everybody got electric Teslas and they didn't work, so everybody died. Like, let's take a jab at Elon. But actually, this is probably one of the coolest scenes in the movie. It was really smart what ended up happening.
business.
Get in the car right now!
So the freaking trailer spoils it. So never mind. I'm not even going to say spoiler alert. The trailer, just watch the trailer and listen to my breakdown of the movie, and you don't even need to see the movie. You don't even need to take part in Netflix. Boycott. Ethan Hawke, that's his name. Okay. So yeah, and then it turns into, but it's really not about a civil war. People are acting like it's a Civil War movie. It's really more of a psychological thriller, like what would you do if you were in this situation type thing. Pretty cool movie. Enough of that. So the point I'm getting at is that these movies are prepping us for something. This eerily reminds me of Contagion, which came true. That's what I'm saying, Flat Sabbath. That's what I'm saying. Contagion. And then the coof happens. Deus Ex Machina. I love that movie. And now we see the AI. We see the search engines making AI banks for targeted advertisement of every person. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about they have a digital profile of every person. If you're on social media of any sort, using anything with your phone, they have a digital AI profile of you. And they can it's almost gotten to where, because it's all based off probability, is how all AI and programming works. They've almost got it down to where it can predict the future. It really can't, but it kind of can, because people are predictable. If you do the same thing every day, the AI knows, oh, you're going to go to work at this time. Oh, you were thinking about cat food. Let me give you a cat food ad. So they prep us. They prep us with these movies and with these shorts and these TikToks and the media and what they pump into our brain. They prep us for what's going to happen. So now let's look at one other movie that looks kind of sick. Of course, we've got to put up with the diversity and the equity and inclusion in every movie nowadays. And this is funny. So I haven't seen this one yet. I have seen the trailer. This is the trailer for ISS, which is a new movie. I know Flat Sabbath doesn't believe in space stations and satellites, so you probably won't like this, but I love space. Space is cool. Let's watch some of this trailer. I'm going to pause it and try to do some commentary so we don't get, even if we get a copyright strike, I'm already demonetized, so hit up the Cash App. What's up, Star One? But check this out. You want to talk about prepping us with movies and media? Check this out. This movie looks crazy, but it also, I'll give you my complaints. I like the whistle music. It sounds like Fallout or something.
Welcome to space. The Russians always.
So, okay, we got a black woman. This is so funny. Yo. So, apparently Russia and America work together in the ISS. So wait till you see this Russian space crew compared to this American space crew.
We've knocked 3 times.
I think it's just a superstition.
Oh, it's not as crazy as I thought it was. But look, big Russian white guy, big Russian white guy, big Russian white guy. I think there's one Russian woman, and she's probably like, "Oh, me, my name is Ivanka. I bench press 350, 500 deadlift. I am in 1,000 pound club, Ivanka." Whereas America, we got this kind of overweight, chubby white guy. We got our equity, diversity, and inclusion hire. The International Space Station, ISS, is a symbol of United. I guess it makes sense because it's the ISS. It's International Space Station. United States and Russia collaboration. Huh. That could give some credence to the fake moon landing because that could be why Russia, if we faked the moon landing, why Russia never snitched on us for it. Because maybe we had made a deal with Russia like, hey, don't snitch on us. We're going to get this funding by winning the space race, and then we're going to make a space station that we can go up in together. Huh. I never thought about that angle. Dang, I might have just swung on the. I'm a fence sitter on the moon landing, guys. I swing back and forth. I blow to and fro in the wind. Pause. Is it two black women? She looked like a. Anyway.
I mean, I've seen pictures, but this is.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Come on. This is our squad versus their squad. Spoiler alert. Don't worry, it's in the preview.
Politics. Here we're one.
Boom. That's freaky. Could you imagine being in a space station and you see that? That's crazy.
Hey guys.
Wait a minute, what the hell is going on down there?
Oh, whoa.
Boom, boom.
Let's get out.
That's crazy. Get out. Where are you going to get out to? What, you got a dang DeLorean parked out front? Where are you going to go? We got to get out? Where are you getting out? There ain't no getting out. The world's exploding. The obvious globe is exploding. Boom, that's crazy.
War has broken out below.
That's wild. Could you imagine being on the space station and that happens below you? You're like, well, guess we're just hanging out here forever. Indefinitely. One question. Who filmed The Greatest Step of Mankind for real, for real? I forgot. I watched a documentary on it. I forgot how they explained that. Either he wasn't actually the first one to step on the moon, or they had some sort of GoPro. You know, technology is like 50 years ahead of what we know of. So they had stuff that was basically like the stuff that we know about now. So if you think we could get to the moon now with the technology that we have now, which I believe we could, then it's fair to say that 50 years ago they had that technology that we have now. We just didn't know about it. They had a dang GoPro on a lawn dart, and they just tossed it out there and went stuck into the moon, and it filmed it. We got freaking drone. Freddie has a drone. If Freddie has a drone, you don't think NASA can figure out how to film somebody getting out of a spaceship? Come on, man.
And we were told to take the ISS by any means necessary.
But stay on the topic. I know it's my fault. I diverted to moon landing stuff. I need to stay on topic. Keep me on topic. We're talking about war. We're talking about World War III. We're talking about media programming, preparing us for the next World War with these movies and this media. Plus, we're watching some cool trailers because these movies, good movies, decent movies, except for the, we got to have the DEI and everything. You kind of just got to live with it now, or just not watch movies, I guess.
Necessary.
So, look. They get a phone call, a ring-a-ling-a-ling-ling in space while the world is blowing up. Kind of a plot hole, if you ask me. Like, if we're doing whole nukes all over the world, global winter, nuclear winter, isn't the phone line to the spaceship going to be down? I feel like that would be one of the things that would go. But Russia and America both give them a ring-a-ling-a-ling-ling and say, hey, you got to take out the other team. So we got diversity, equity, inclusion, America versus freaking Ivanka and the three big Russian guys. Come on now. You expect me to, what's she going to do? What's this girl with the little mohawk going to do?
We got orders from our government to take control.
A stellar ensemble? I don't know any of these people.
What do you suggest we do now?
Is that Spider-Man's girlfriend? Is that Spider-Man's girlfriend? What's her name? Saraya or something? Sharia? What's that girl's name? Spider-Man's girlfriend? Pressure cooker.
The Russians got the same orders as us. And they just struck first.
Bro, you ain't beating the Russians. You four against those four? Ain't happening. I'm sorry. I love my country, but the only girl they have is Ivanka. And she bigger than a mug. We got a dang girl with a mohawk. But she black. She might know how to cut a fool. It might be cutting.
Struck first.
Only betas will fall for the fear. Who looks scared? Who's afraid? Turns out in space they can hear you scream. I don't think that's true.
Truly, we're evolved species.
Yeah, you ain't fight. Oh, he cutting him. He trying to cut him. Dude, that looks crazy. That just looks cool. It's a cool concept for a movie that you're on the space station and the world starts blowing up below you. Cool concept. So, movies, we got that. Now, have you guys been seeing on your reels, on your shorts, on your TikTok if you're using TikTok, that it's all like military stuff. Dudes jumping out of planes on their parachutes, dudes coming down ropes on helicopter, and a bunch of girls, a bunch of military girls. Like, I'm a woman. I'm a strong woman. Join the military. Have you seen PSYOP Girl? This is PSYOP Girl. They call her PSYOP Girl. They call her PSYOP Girl. She might be AI. Allegedly, she's not. She went to Demolition Ranch for a creator gun day at Demolition Ranch. Allegedly, she was there. Wendy Goon said she was there. I trust Wendy Goon. He's a Christian. So apparently this girl's real, but they call her PSYOP Girl. You heard of PSYOP Girl? That's dumb. It's not funny. Is that supposed to be cool? Was that supposed to be funny? Is that supposed to be funny? Come with me to airborne school. Is that supposed to be funny? Dude, she's got hundreds of videos. The internet is simping over Army e-girls. Me fighting with the trench rats over an MRE, but then I get shot in the ass with a bullet. Hashtag relatable, hashtag teen girl. Allegedly, this girl is really in the military, and I think she's driving tanks. She's flying helicopters. Supposedly, it's real. I don't know. Fake news.
The species have learned anything from the internet, it's that men will
This is PSYOP Girl.
any tomboy around the globe. Even if that tomboy is overseas fighting in
I'm not simping for her at all. No. I think it's kind of gross, actually.
Iraq? Yeah. Apparently, 4chan and TikTok are simping over the U.S. military, specifically this Army e-girl named Haley, posting
She's PSYOP Girl.
thirst traps in a Hummer, wearing all camo and a tactical helmet, while emphasizing her freckles and big eyes.
And they're probably filters. I think she's AI, but people have said they've seen her. Number one recruiter, you think so? You think it's working? Oh my God, end up with a spinal injury like that. Hanging out a helicopter? Yeah. All my YouTube random shorts and my feed are all booty thumbnails. Matthew, you can't click on them. Once you click on them, you're locked in. You must have clicked on one. Maybe not. Maybe they just target young men. But so that's PSYOP Girl. So have you heard of PSYOP Girl? Have you seen all the it's either booties or military booties on all my feeds. I'm 36. I'm past draft age. And I'm a dang criminal. I don't even think I tried to go to the military. And they're like, nah, you're damn criminal, bruh. Some criminals will take in. You're dang too much of a criminal. They didn't let me in. They didn't let me in. I'm working on a new thing to trigger people. Oh, I'm gonna trigger people with this one. I gotta work on it. I gotta develop it a little more. But basically, I'm sick of hearing about homeless veterans. I'm sick of it. And I was homeless, and I have a soft spot in my heart for homeless people. I just don't like the why's it got to be homeless veterans? Why do you got to add the veteran to make it sound more heartful? Oh, they're a veteran. A lot of veterans are homeless because they were already inclined to that lifestyle. A lot of guys went to the military because they were screw ups and their parents said, you got to get out of my house. You either got to get a job, go to college, or go to the military. And they're like, I'm going to go to the military. I'll get paid for the rest of my life. I'll do 4 years and I'll get out and but they're already the type of guy that is inclined to end up being homeless. Like, I know a lot of guys that went to the military that were screw ups. And I know there's a lot of great military heroes. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of guys who go to the military and they are heroes and they do great things for this country. I get it. There's a lot of guys who go to the military because they're already the type of guy that was going to end up homeless anyway. So then they end up homeless. And then everybody says, the homeless veterans to pull on your heartstrings. Just say homeless people. Why does this homeless person, because he went to the military, he's somehow better than the other person who's, when they're both drug addicts. And you can't say, well, he's just a loser, crazy drug addict. Well, so is the veteran. He's a loser, crazy drug addict too. Just because he did 4 years in the military doesn't make him some sort of saint. Sounds like I've already developed the idea, and I hope it triggers you. Sounds like I've already got it figured out. There's the rundown. Lots of guys joined right after 9/11. Yeah, they were pumped up. They're pumped up. And a lot of them were convicts and dumb shits, to be honest. So, and I'm not saying they're like bad guys. I'm just saying if they hadn't have gone to the military for 4 years after 9/11, they still would have ended up homeless. Like, to add the veteran is just some mama mentality, like soft, like, oh, but they're the veterans. It's not just we don't care about the homeless drug addicts, but the homeless drug addicts who are veterans, we care about them. And then you know what happens? All the homeless people hear this, so they all go to the freaking military outlet store, or whatever it's called, and they all get a pair of whatever it's called. I wasn't in the military, so I don't know, but they all get this suit that PSYOP girl has. They all go pick up a pair of these, and then that's why you see all the stolen valor movies or videos, because it's homeless people who get a sign that says homeless vet, need money. They get some military stuff and some pins and a hat from the thrift shop, and then they go out and I'm a homeless vet, to pull on your heartstrings because they know everybody talks about that. And then that's why you get all the stolen valor videos. So shout out homeless veterans. I know that'll piss some people off, some conservatives. I know it will. I love it. Military equals travel for free. Yes, Flat Sabbath. And don't get me wrong. I respect the military heroes, the ones who actually put in work. But you don't just automatically. Oh man, I don't even want to keep going into it. Anyway, so we're heading for World War III. That's the point of that segment. Get ready. It's about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuit. You, Debbie. One of the baddest asses I know is a Marine. One of the baddest asses you know is a Marine. Yeah, I know some badass Marines. I also know some soft Marines. I've met a lot of soft Marines. I've met a lot of Marines who think they're tough, but they're really soft. And when they get drunk, they'd start doing some gay stuff. I don't know if that's something they learned in the Marines or what, but I've seen it many times. I just joined to get some direction in my life and discipline. It worked. See, Matthew, and that's good. That's good. And I respect that. You know, if you went to the military and you came out and it bettered you, and you took all those things you learned and you put them into your life, the discipline and the regimen and the conditioning and the fitness and all of that, and you put that into your work in your daily life, then God bless you. More power to you. I'm not saying like veterans are bad people. I'm just saying it's weird how we kind of, it's like the left uses buzzwords. It's like one of the right's buzzwords to add veteran to something. Like it makes it more important all of a sudden. But you get what I'm saying? Jess, I don't think you should speak ill of the veterans at all, regardless. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Dare you to try to trigger me? I'm prior service. They'd try me, I bet. LOL, military booties. Yep, yep. All the girls get pregnant when they get orders to deploy. I heard that that's a thing, that military, especially Marine women, are very promiscuous, that they kind of get around the barracks, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, enough of that. Let's move on to the Satanic Temple. Everybody's been talking about it. I got a whole bunch of stories about it. I'm just going to skim through them. And I'm really not talking ill of the veterans, Latina. I'm talking ill of the people who use that like a buzzword. And I'm talking ill of the veterans who really didn't do anything. Yeah. Yup. And that's the point. The point is that it makes you examine it. I hope it upsets you, because it will make you maybe examine it. Satanic Temple stirs up controversy after setting up a display at Iowa Capitol. So this story is from like 5 days ago when they first put it up. And I didn't even hear of this until it got vandalized. But there's been multiple of these things. We did one about a Christmas tree. They were doing a Christmas tree display at a church. And at the church, they had one the LGBTQ community put up a tree, and then the Satanic Temple put up a tree. And people were mad, and they say it's a First Amendment thing. It's a First Amendment thing. This is why, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the world is pushing me farther and farther right, because I'm getting to the point where I really don't care about the Constitution. I almost think we need to totally rework it. Because the founding fathers, was it John Adams who wrote that the Constitution only works with a moral and religious people? And that's true. But they made sure there were like Freemasons and a word I'm probably not supposed to say that starts with an I and ends with the Illuminati. People like in Bohemian Grove type stuff in the founding fathers. So like Benjamin Franklin, these were great, wise men, but they were up to some weird stuff too. And they made sure not to put God in the Constitution. We have God in a lot of other places, but they didn't want to have God in the Constitution. They didn't want to. And then they did freedom of religion. Well, the idea of that was all the Christian sects could practice all the different religions, so we don't just have Catholics. It was Protestant. We were protesting the Catholic Church's hold over everything and how they controlled everything. They say, same thing like Orthodox do. We're the one true church, and these fathers of the church decide what the truth is. Don't question it. And so the Protestants were trying to protest that and get away from that. So they left, and they said, we want freedom for all the Christian sects to practice their denomination. We don't just want one. But then it didn't turn out working that way. It turned out freedom of religion turned into, we got Satan worshipers, and we got Muslims coming over. And I don't hate the Muslims. I just want them to do their thing in their country. Have your Muslim country and do it there. Don't bring it to America. This is a Christian country. At least it's supposed to be. And it's not now. So does the Satanic Temple get freedom of speech in a government building to put up a satanic effigy? I don't think so. Not in this country. You shouldn't. But they can. And now the guy who vandalized this thing is getting in trouble for it. You can have children drag queen story hour. You can have Antifa with AR-15 standing out front, protecting and defending the drag queens who are grooming the kids. And that's totally okay, because that's protected by the First and Second Amendment. And it's like, do we really need a piece of paper to tell us what our rights and our freedoms are? Like, what does that even mean? Your rights and your freedoms? God gives me my rights and my freedoms. The only my founding father is God. My Constitution is the Bible. My nation is my brothers and sisters in Christ. It's kind of, it's kind of pulling me away from. I still love America. Don't get me wrong. I love America, but we gotta make some changes. We gotta tighten up. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy over here. You know what I'm saying? So they put up a Satanic temple thing, altar in the first floor of the rotunda at the Iowa Capitol building. Satanic Temple said if Christmas displays like a tree can go up at the Capitol, then they have to allow all beliefs to be celebrated. And they're right about that. Based on the Constitution, they are correct. Displays are allowed in the rotunda as long as they go through the correct administrative channels. People might not agree with our viewpoints, but they are certainly within legal parameters. And my feeling is if people don't like our display in public forums, they don't have to engage with them. They don't have to view them, said Lucian Grease, co-founder of the Satanic Temple. I mean, they kind of have to view it if they work in the Capitol and they have to go to work and they have to see it. They're supposed to close their eyes. A Christian prayer group gathered on Wednesday morning in opposition to the Satanic display. So they put this thing up. People are pissed off about it. From CNA, Catholic News Agency, not protected by First Amendment, Catholic legal experts say. Satanic Temple display in Iowa Capitol building is not protected by the First Amendment, a Catholic legal expert told CNA. Displays installed at the request of a prominent atheist group is not religious expression. That's true. Dang, I didn't even think about that. So, until I just read this. So, they are using the argument Satanic Church claims to be atheists. They don't even believe in God or Satan. They just call themselves the Satanic Church to trigger Christians. I believe they do believe in Satan. They just don't know that they really are. Satan is their daddy. So it's kind of ironic that they joined the church the religion that they really are a part of, but they deny religion. So how are they using the religious freedoms? Is that that's not separation clause. That's freedom to practice religion. They're using the First Amendment freedom to practice religion. I'm sorry, establishment clause. That's something different. That's quote unquote separation of church and state. But freedom to practice religion, they're using that argument, even though they claim to not be religious. So kind of interesting. Prominent atheist group is not religious expression, but rather about making a mockery of religion. I agree. Temporary statue which portrays a larger than life-size goat head figure cloaked in red and black, is it Baphomet, and surrounded by candles, was erected at the request of Iowa's Satanic Temple alongside several religious holiday displays. According to the Forbes, and the Iowa State Capitol holiday display this year also includes a Christmas tree, a nativity scene, and a holiday banner by another atheist group. So there's 2 atheist displays and 2 Christian displays. Sad. In Iowa. Iowa's not Idaho. I don't know as much about Iowa politics. Local news station KCCI Des Moines reported that the display will remain in the Capitol through December 15th. Since its unveiling has inspired outrage as well as calls to prayer, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds called the display absolutely objectionable and encouraged all those of faith to join her in praying over the Capitol and recognizing the nativity scene that will now be on display, the true reason for the season. That's pretty based. So there's the... there it is, Baphomet. Are those roses? What's he got on? What's he rocking? I went to MEPS like a fool. Hake news pretty good too, though. Yeah, I like Hake. Jesus is Lord, Christ is King. They live, we sleep. They live, we sleep. The alarm going off. Beep, beep. War came from greed. Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. Greed of land. Is it always of greed? I think a lot of wars were started over women. Helen of Troy, dang old Joan of Arc. No, I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of wars are due to greed. But sometimes, yeah, that's probably is what it always comes down to, because sometimes it's like cultural differences, but it basically comes down to you want their land. You want to take that land from them. So there's the satanic thing. But anyway, enough of talking about it. It got vandalized. Why, from Forbes, why a satanic holiday display at the Iowa Capitol building has been allowed to stay up despite backlash. So the Catholics are saying it's not a religious display because they claim to be atheistic. So how are they gonna? You can't have it both ways, guys. But they do. They do. You know why? Because of our Constitution. You can start a satanic church and you don't have to pay taxes on it because of establishment clause, separation of church and state. You can do that because of our Constitution. Huh. Yeah, they're pushing me. They're pushing me away. The Satanic Temple of Iowa put up a holiday display in the Iowa Capitol building, igniting outrage. So we got that. We got all that. Let's look at the vandalism. All right. Actually, let's read Governor Reynolds' comment on it first, and then we'll look at the vandalism. Like many Iowans, I find the Satanic Temple's display in the Capitol absolutely objectionable. In a free society, the best response to objectionable speech is more speech. See, is it though? What happens when one side controls all of the outlets for speech? When one side controls the bullhorn, the microphone, the PA system, and you can't get your voice out if you say certain things. Are we really in a free society? Is free speech even really a thing? Or is it just a concept that they made up to kind of trick people? And I encourage all those of faith to join me today in praying over the Capitol and recognizing the nativity scene. So we already kind of read that. So it got vandalized. Destroyed beyond repair from the Des Moines Register. Satanic Temple says part of display in Iowa Capitol destroyed beyond repair. And this dude's getting charged with vandalism. Let me see. The statue depicting the pagan idol Baphomet, part of its controversial display in the Iowa Capitol, had been destroyed. This morning we were, and does this, by the way, does this look for the Christmas is pagan people? Does this look Christmassy to you? Does this look like anything Christians or Americans celebrate for Christmas? Does that, because this is like a pagan thing. Does this look like your Christmas tree? Because if it does, then maybe you are celebrating pagan Christmas, and that's a you problem, not a Christian problem, which we will go in depth next week, next Monday for Christmas. I don't even think I'm going to do the news. I'm just going to hang out with you guys on Christmas because Monday is Christmas next week. And we're going to talk about all the reasons, all the origins of Santa, the origins of the Christmas tree, why we put lights on the Christmas tree, why Christmas is not Saturnalia, why it has nothing to do, why the Puritans were wrong, why all these people who push the pagan Christmas, they just hate Christians. We'll do all that, all of it next week. But so this thing was defaced. This morning we were informed by authorities that the Baphomet statue in our holiday display was destroyed beyond repair, the group said in a Thursday statement post on Facebook. Former Mississippi congressional candidate charged with vandalizing Satanic Temple at Iowa Capitol. The installation, permitted under state rules governing religious displays in the building, has come under debate and criticism by Iowa and national politicians. Presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis on Tuesday joined a chorus of Republicans calling for its removal, while others in the GOP said though it is offensive, it is protected form of free speech. Yeah, see? That's lame. It's just lame. What if? Is Santa black? No. No, he's German. Or he's we'll talk about it next week. He's Saint Nick white denim mug. Saint Nick white denim mug. I burned a flag. It was too worn to fly again. It said you should never let it hit the ground or throw it in the garbage. Yep, that's true, Dean. We don't really do any of flag code anymore. Like, this is a flag that broke off of, it's one of those flags you stick on the side of your car and it flies out your window, that's breaking like all the flag codes. And it broke off and it fell on the ground. So I just put it here. And somebody's like, put that flag upright. It's like, it's already not flag code. So, yeah, I have a proper flag hung up in my kitchen, but I don't even think it goes by flag code because it's not on a pole. It's on a wall. And I don't think you're supposed to put a flag on a wall. But yeah, flag code is pretty much not a thing anymore. Kind of sad. Flag it. I might start using that. Dang, flag it. I learned all that flag knowledge in Boy Scouts. Yeah, I was in Awana. You ever heard of Awana? Not camp on Awana. We hold you in our heart. But when we think about you, it makes me want to fart. No, Awana was like Christian Boy Scouts. It was at what the F happened to Boy Scouts? Well, they started letting girls in. That's what happened. They started letting girls in. It became girls in Boy Scouts. But it's still just Boy Scouts, but they let girls in. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is what happened to Boy Scouts. Former Mississippi House candidate. So this is our suspect. This is our alleged suspect. Our alleged base suspect. Breaking the law, breaking the law. Breaking the law for base purposes. Former Mississippi House candidate charged after Satanic temple display is destroyed at Iowa Capitol. Satanic temple display, blah, 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 blah. A former U.S. Navy fighter pilot. See, this is a base military guy. This guy was in the military. He learned discipline, came out, got into government. Maybe he's not. Well, he's got to be based if he destroyed this thing. So, see, this, we're not talking about all veterans. We're just talking about some. Was recently defeated in a state house election in Mississippi, is accused of causing the damage. The display is permitted by rules that govern religious installations. We already know about that. DeSantis, blah, blah. Michael Cassidy, 35, of Lauderdale, Mississippi. So it's a guy from Mississippi. He was in Iowa. I wonder if he was up there for business or did he just come up to destroy the thing? Was charged with fourth-degree criminal mischief. The Iowa Department of Public Safety said Friday. He was released after his arrest. Yeah, it should be a misdemeanor. Cassidy is a Republican who was defeated by Democrat Keith Jackson in Mississippi State House District 45 in November. All right, base Cassidy. Let's get that guy voted in somewhere. Cassidy's campaign website remains active. The biography on it says he served as a Navy fighter pilot and a pilot instructor. See, this guy's based. This is dang Maverick. Maverick ripping down that Satan statue. He describes himself as a Christian conservative who loves our nation, is committed to preserving the blessings of liberty bestowed on us by the founding generation. See, and that's why, like, I don't like the way Christian first, conservative, right? So that's good. Who loves our nation, good, and is committed to preserving the blessings of liberty bestowed upon us by our founding generation. Our liberties as Christians are not bestowed on us by some Masonic founding fathers and some Christian-based founding fathers, but some of them were not so based. Our liberties are not bestowed on us by a constitution. Our liberties are bestowed on us by God. So that's what I'm saying. In 2022, Cassidy ran against incumbent U.S. Rep. Michael Guest and lost in primary runoff after fewer than 300 votes separated them in the primary. Guest won the runoff with nearly 70% of the votes. Maybe if we had ranked choice voting, he might have got in. Messages left Friday with Cassidy and the Satanic Temple were not immediately returned. On Friday, part of the display remained at the site in the Capitol. A lone man who declined to give his name sat in front of the display and recited Christian prayers, based, making references to Jesus. Let's go. It wasn't immediately clear if he was a supporter or detractor of the Satanic Temple. Well, if he's sitting in front of it saying prayers and talking about Jesus, probably a detractor. Probably a detractor, I would say. I don't know many Satanic Temple people who pray to Jesus, but that's what I'm saying. But that's that story. Who owns who now? The country that's making another country's flag, or the people buying flags in their own country being made in another country? Oh, China owns us. You're right, Dean. If that's what you're trying to say. If another country's making another country's flag, that's called messed up. Yeah. Well, you know, it's cheaper to get it made by child slaves in China or Africa, than it is to make it here. Never in boycotts. Let's see. Never in Boy Scouts. Never in Boy Scouts learned from people and reading. Boy Scouts were legit. Now I never see any. Navy poofed. Yeah, they wanted to destroy the Boy Scouts, so they let girls in, and then they did like basically a Me Too campaign on the Boy Scouts, and they said a bunch of these counselors are essaying the boys, which probably happened, but it's probably nothing near what they made it out to be. The same way they do with Catholics, the same way they do with Christians in general. They say we're all molesters and stuff, but then meanwhile they got their kids in public schools where they're way more likely to get essayed. So good job, parents. Get mad at the Catholics and the Christians and the Boy Scouts. Meanwhile, your kid's going to a public school. Got a dang, they them teaching them. Yeah. Anyway, so enough of that satanic thing. Destroy base guy. Misdemeanor. He might be done with government, but he's not going to be facing any jail time or anything like that. Let's look at this Vivek destroying CNN. Let's watch this clip for a little bit. This is pretty based. Vivek went off. I think he's just trying to get attention. He knows he ain't winning no election. He knows he's not going to be the president, but he's getting that attention. He's a blossoming new voice in the conservative movement. Pretty based. His last name's Ramaswamy, but maybe we can forgive that once. He came in the right way. We're not against all immigration, just illegal immigration and anti-assimilation. You have to assimilate. No femboys. That stuff never happened to my troops, but I don't know. China makes my flag sky high. That stuff never happened to my troops, but I don't know. Yeah, it probably never happened in 99.99% of people's troops. It probably happened in like one freaking thing where some guy got through. They didn't vet him good enough. They're like, let's give him a chance. What's a good PDF file name? Let's let Eugene be the troop leader for this camp out. And Eugene's like, children, come here, children. Yes. Or like a old guy, like, can I do the oh I can't whistle because I have nicotine pack in my lip. I was trying to do the guy from is it Family Guy, the old guy? Oh, hey, Brian. I can't whistle though because I got things in. Jared. The Hollywood movies. Look up taxpayer money for Hollywood. Look up taxpayer money for Hollywood. You ever wonder why there's such a huge number of terrorist movies? Well, it's all life imitates art and art imitates life. So they can almost it's called, there's a word for it where basically you make reality happen by conditioning people to think a certain way and to expect something, and you kind of make it happen. Like, so people will be so concerned about the dangers of AI, and then AI happens and it's going to be dangerous. And then so people will be so concerned with war that we end up making a war happen. And that's the art, the Hollywood art, quote unquote art. It's not really art anymore, but you know what I'm saying. The Hollyweird and the shorts and the media and the social media pushes these ideas on you, and then life imitates art, but also art imitates life. So the art is imitating life and kind of doing predictive programming that influences people to act a certain way so that it comes true. So then life imitates the art, but the art was originally imitating the life. You get what I'm saying? And then it's a cycle. And they prepare us for things that they're putting into action. And by preparing for us for it, they kind of make it happen, almost like laws of attraction. They kind of like speak it into existence. And it's all evil. It's all evil, but if you see it and you're aware of it, then you can not be. If you're aware, then you won't be scared. You'll be prepared. Damn, I just made that up. That's fire. Somebody write that down. Clip it. If you're aware, you won't be scared. You'll be prepared. Ooh. It's like pre-crime. Yeah. Yeah, well, Minority Report, a lot of stuff in that movie's going to be happening too, or is already happening. Predictive programming, yep. He has a lisp like a mug. Herbert, oh, who, Vivek or me? Maybe I have a lisp because of the thing. So let's watch this. Just the last like 5 minutes of it. Pretty good.
In the White House.
The audio,
Want somebody who understands
the audio
what we are
sucks. Can
fighting
you guys
for.
hear it?
That's the standard I want you to hold us to. We will aspire to hold ourselves to. And I think that sometimes being a parent.
The audio is kind of just on the left side. That's not on my end. I tried to make a short of this, and when I recorded it, look at this guy in the green sweater in the front. He's just so pissed off the whole time. He keeps shaking his head no. He's this looks like my history teacher, Mr. Oglesby. Definitely a liberal. Definitely an old butthead. An old butthead. This is why I hate Mr. Ogle. This guy right here is why I hated history. Why I'm not super knowledgeable on history. Because for like 2 years, my formative years in high school, when I should have been getting interested in history, this guy made it so boring that I hated history. So, yeah, anyway.
Parent is what gives me my moral clarity. And I hope through the rest of this campaign, we're just getting warmed up. I hope to be able to earn your trust that, yes, I do have what it takes to tell you the truth. I'm not going to hide the truth from you. If you want someone who's going to speak truth to power, vote for somebody who's going to speak the truth to you, to the Republican Party. Do it unvarnished, without sugarcoating. And I don't do much sugarcoating. But also somebody who, as you, I believe, want, can stand for the ideals that would.
So he gives his whole speech, but then homegirl here, I don't know who this lady is, but she jumps in and she starts live fact checking our boy Vivek, and he just decimates them. But they keep cutting him off, and it's only 8 minutes, and it's CNN town hall, and he just destroys CNN. They're like, oh man, it's funny when you go on like CNN's YouTube when they're doing like live streams. Maybe it's just because YouTube is more largely conservative, or maybe the only people that are actively chatting in a CNN chat are conservatives, but it seems like everybody's going Trump. CNN will put up polls and like who's better, Trump or Biden, and Trump gets like 78% of the poll. CNN's hating life right now.
Would make our founding fathers proud and would make our children proud as well.
He's a corporate snake, though. He might be. I don't know that for sure yet. I know about the Soros Brava Foundation or whatever. Gave him some money and then he lied about it. Said he needed it when really he didn't need it. He was already worth like $1.2 million, and then he accepted more money from Soros. I kind of can justify it. Like, I go back and forth on this. Is it okay to take Satan's money and use it against him? Part of me says yes. Sometimes I've heard good arguments for no, that you shouldn't. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that's what he was doing. But he lied and said he needed the money and he didn't need the money. I don't like that. But I don't know. We got to give him more time. Just keep your eye on him.
Speaking
Pause.
of those debates, let me ask you about something that
Here
you
we
said
go.
at the debate.
Here comes the fact check. Fact check from his debate. Get wrecked, lady.
Last week, you used the phrase inside job to describe what happened on January.
Did you see him in that old school town hall stuff? Old school town hall stuff. No, no. I saw him rap Eminem, dang, lose yourself like a fool. Dude can wipe his butt with $100 bills. I won't gamble at it. Look at the smooth talker Obama. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not like Team Vivek, but I like him. He seems okay, but we gotta keep our eye on him for a little longer. I don't know if I trust him yet. I don't really trust nobody, but
January 6th.
You know what I'm saying.
The next day, Capitol.
So she's fact checking on him on his January 6th comments.
Rioter Alan Hosteler highlighted your comments at his sentencing. He is going to prison for 11 years.
Well, you see, we've got to move forward with the plan. You know, Michelle once told me she got a big old.
Hosteler threatened members of Congress. He brought a hatchet, knives, pepper spray, stun batons, tactical gear to the U.S. Capitol. Are you concerned that a convicted felon like that is now promoting your comments in court?
So here's my concern, Abby. And I want to tell you guys where I'm at.
Tell us.
Today is the 23rd.
Whoa! See, the volume just got real loud for this ad because the audio's. Get your audio right, CNN. What are you doing? Your audio guy needs to get on his job. I could do his job better than him.
Told me it's close to 3 years ago that January 6, 2021 happened. If you had told me 3 years ago, back when I was a biotech CEO, not steeped in this world.
We showed the trailer for that movie at the beginning of the show, Latina, and it was actually a really good movie. But yeah, the whole first segment of the show, we showed the trailer of that movie, and we talked about that and ISS and how all the movies are prepping us for a war or for something crazy.
I was just consuming passive.
But no, I don't think it's. I think it was a good movie. They did have the little racial struggle thing in the first quarter of the movie, but it was well done. I liked the way they did it. It was kind of funny because it's true. It's true. If you're in an expensive mansion, Airbnb, and some black people show up in the middle of the night at your front door, you're going to be like, what? I don't know about this. But then they're like, oh, it's because we're black. And it's like, no, it's because you're strangers showing up. Like, we have a contract and you're breaking it. But that only plays a part in the first quarter of the movie. The rest of the movie is pretty good. It's pretty well done. I liked it. I don't care if the Obamas made it. I don't like the Obamas, and I doubt they had a whole lot to do with it. They probably just funded it. It's actually a pretty good movie.
Media, but was focused on my world of developing medicines. If you had told me that January 6th was in any way an inside job, the subject of government entrapment,
you got that Trump riz.
I would have told you that was crazy talk. Fringe conspiracy theory nonsense. I can tell you now, having gone somewhat deep in this, it's not.
Nope.
I mean, the reality is this.
All the conspiracies come true.
We have a government, first of all, we have to acknowledge that has lied to us systematically over the last several years about the origin of COVID-19, about the Hunter Biden laptop that we were told was false by 51 CIA experts and otherwise before we now know that it was true. You could go straight down the list. The Trump Russia disinformation collusion hoax, all of it. Now we come to January 6th. The reality is we know that there were federal law enforcement agents in that field. We don't know how many.
Politician, to be honest.
I think it's shameful. If I may finish this answer.
Well, let me just. I'm going to go ahead and interrupt you here because
I know the establishment doesn't approve of this message. I know
there were federal agents.
We should be able to talk about this.
You're saying that there were federal agents.
This isn't
trying to shut him down. He's like, "Yo, I'm answering your question. You don't like the answer, so you're going to cut me off. Shut up, CNN." What's up, awesome Alice? Conspirality. I like that. Conspirality. That's pretty cool.
Important to talk about.
You are saying there were federal agents in the pad on January.
Can you guys hear this? I'm sorry if I'm blowing out your left ear right now because it's CNN's fault. It's not my fault. Their audio is loaded on the left.
Yep.
There is no evidence that there were federal agents in the crowd on January 6th.
So why?
That's so stupid. Do you think if there are feds doing an op at the Capitol that they're just going to release that information to the people and make it public? Of course there's no information on it. It was a freaking federal secret op.
Before Congress, when pressed on what the number was, they didn't say there were none. They just couldn't say how many there were.
So you're saying that there's no.
She's
that
just doing her job.
Seen any evidence.
So
that
we've
there
seen
were,
multiple.
and so
we've seen multiple informants suggesting that there were. We know people were FBI informants who were asked.
Is there any evidence?
May I just finish this, and you can come back and question me?
Well, let me clarify.
I know it's very uncomfortable for you.
I'm going to clarify my question.
I know this is an uncomfortable issue for many people, but we have to do the truth here.
I'm going to clarify my question because I want to make sure that you understand what I'm asking.
I understand.
Steamroller, Vivek. Just steamroller. Don't let her talk.
This deeply. And I told you, I was with you 3 years ago. I'm not there now.
Where is the evidence?
Yes.
Where is the evidence that the government had a plot, an inside job?
But no,
yeah, the government's just going to give us all the evidence about the government's nefarious plot. What kind of stupid question is that? That begs the question.
An inside job, because I'm not
violence on January 6th.
I'm not going to let you put words in
that would be entrapment if they admit it, right? Why are the feds going to admit their secret operation? Like, this is so dumb.
Tell you what I mean by
that. Where is the evidence that the government was involved in planning or executing January 6th?
So I'm going to give you hard facts, and if I may, Abby. I know this is going to be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to go through this, and you can push back on that. And you can push back on that, and let's do this fairly. Why did they suppress footage of now what's been released? 200 hours of footage.
Yeah, come on, women, get out of the pantsuit. We don't want to see you in a pantsuit. I want to see you in a sundress.
Of shooting rubber bullets into that crowd, shooting tear gas into that crowd.
Nothing like a nice sundress.
You saw what the response was to that. Now you see footage coming out of actually rolling out the red carpet for Capitol Police allowing people in.
Again,
right through the front door.
The vast majority of the footage
evidence should have been released before, Abby.
Mr. Ramaswamy, the vast majority of the footage shows
and my deeper
police officers being overrun and I want to talk about one more by violent.
Shut up, Abby.
Riders. That's
I'm going to give you some hard facts.
Of it shows.
So here's what entrapment is.
Cherry pick.
I'm not cherry picking. If I may finish, Abby.
If I may finish, Abby.
I'm not cherry picking.
Example.
Women in a sundress is my only way. Yeah. Man. When winter's over and summer starts, you see a girl a nice looking girl in a sundress. Oh, hammer pants. Yo, Alice is hilarious. It's hammer time. My music hits me so hard, makes me say. Is that the right song or is that Vanilla Ice? I can't remember.
To the contrary. To the contrary, you know who cherry picked? You know who cherry picked? The government.
That is what happened.
The government cherry picked 12 hours of footage when there was 200 hours of footage. The cherry picking was the government, not me. Release the whole thing. And let me just finish one.
Yeah, is this cultural appropriation when she's got straight hair and a pantsuit?
Something too, because this is super important as a topic.
So I think this is
because they tell me this is cultural appropriation that I have dreadlocks, even though my bloodline. The Nazarites, dang old Samson and Jesus and Moses and Abraham, they all had dreadlocks.
It's a civil libertarian issue of our time. Gretchen Whitmer's kidnapping. I want to be really clear on this because it's the same issue in the same FBI.
I can prove that using geography, timeline, history, and the Bible. So don't even challenge me on that.
Same even part of the FBI. 3 people who were in an alleged plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer were acquitted at the end of trial because
conspiracy theory that came true. A conspiracy.
Government agents put them up to do something they otherwise wouldn't have done. They gave them credit cards with spending limits of up to 5.
Don't even get me started, B-Wise. And you know what's crazy, B-Wise? When I went down on vacation to Florida, I'm like a Florida boy. And so I have a way with Florida ladies. Like I know how to talk to the Florida ladies, you know? But in Utah, especially with dreadlocks, I think if I cut the dreadlocks off, that the Mormon girls would be a little more receptive. But it's just it's a different vibe that even I've been out here for like 10 years and I'm still a Florida boy. And they don't get jokes out here. They don't get my brand of comedy. They don't get it out here. Like I say something funny and sometimes people will just look at me like, huh? Like they don't get it. I don't know if it's like the Mormon influence or what, but and the dreadlocks, the Mormon girls don't like the dreads, so I'm struggling out here like I'm mugged.
$1,000, encourage them to buy munitions.
I'm an
Plan something
island
they
boy.
weren't otherwise willing to plan. So much so, and I want people at home to know this,
No.
especially CNN viewers to know this.
Jesus did not have a tortoise comb or Pantene Pro V, and he lived in a dry, arid climate. They didn't have dang showers and running water. I guarantee you, Jesus had some dreadlocks. He had some matted hair. And Moses definitely had dreadlocks. And Samson had 7 locks. And the Nazarene vow is you don't let a razor touch your head. So if you got long hair, you live in a dry, arid climate, you don't have a tortoiseshell comb because you're not rich or elite. You don't have no Pantene Pro V or Suave. You don't have showers. I promise you, they all had dreadlocks. So cultural appropriation, my ass. I'm a Christian.
This is that one of the jurors went to those defendants and apologized afterwards.
I need to go to Florida.
Gave him a hug.
No.
Apologized, seeing what the government had put a poor guy up to.
Jesus had some sandy, nappy hair. I don't think he was black. You know, I don't think he was black. I think he had olive, bronze, copper tone skin. He had a nice tan. He was a white guy he was like a Jewish white guy with a nice tan from the desert. And he probably had some dreadlocks.
Who had to go to some Mexican restaurant across the street to get hot water. These people were exploited with credit cards up to $5,000, FBI agents, putting them up to a kidnapping plot that we were told was true but was entrapment. Same thing with the Capitol Police. People letting them in freely. Many of those people then being charged.
Look,
the government cannot put you up to do something and then charge you for it. That's wrong.
I don't want to have to.
Wrong to the left,
I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to interrupt you. I really don't. But
I like my baby Jesus. I like my Jesus in a little nativity scene in a bassinet. Little baby Jesus, little sweet baby Jesus. I like Jesus. What they say in Talladega. My Jesus has a shirt that on the front. It says, "I'm here for business, but I like to party." Or no, he has a tuxedo. My Jesus has a tuxedo shirt because it says, "I'm here for business, but I like to party."
I don't want you to mislead the audience here or
at
home.
I think they've been misled by the mainstream media.
14 people.
The mainstream media has misled them.
14 people
Release
were
the video.
charged in that plot. A majority of them were convicted.
I said 3 of them were acquitted on grounds of entrapment. That's a fact. Dispute me. Was I wrong about that?
What folks need to
Was
understand.
I wrong about what I said?
What
I
folks
was not.
need to understand
3 people
is
were
that
acquitted on grounds of entrapment.
9 were
a juror apologized.
9 were
Yeah,
convicted.
but the 3 who were put up should never got to that stage of a trial.
The January 6th
That's
issue.
unacceptable in the United States.
Look,
What rhymes with Jesus? Please us. Sneeze us. Cohesive. I can think of a lot of things that rhyme with Jesus. All right. So that's Vivek, Body, and CNN. I don't have much to say about that. We already talked about it during the game stream when we watched it. Just wanted to show it again here. Okay, this last story is crazy. I had seen this, and then Latina and Callie sent me this. I'm kind of scared. Okay, this is news reporting, YouTube. So I'm only going to show pictures that are on the cover of AP. This is news. Warning, there may be some slightly graphic things in this next little segment, but it's all public news. It's all public information. This is on AP. I got AP. I got BBC. We got a video from ABC News on YouTube. So nothing extremely graphic or violent, but this story is crazy. This video is crazy. And maybe we get hit. Maybe we get hit again and I have to remove this stream. By the way, in order to get my channel remonetized, I have to go through all my videos and I have to cut out all the copyright stuff. I'm just going to delete all the videos that got adult. Like 2 years later, one of my videos will get hit with an adult content. Like one of them, while I was talking about BLM, what I showed a BLM riot and they said that this is adult content. Meanwhile, they can have kids only channels where they're never mind. I'm not even going to go to that. It's gross. But there's some gross kids only channels that YouTube allows to be marketed to children. Meanwhile, I get adult only content if I show a news report about black people burning down buildings. I don't know. Black people beating up white people. Something like that. It'll get hit years later with adult content. But so this might get us 18 and plus. I don't know. But if you go through any of my old streams and there's like a weird cut, if you're watching and all of a sudden there's like a weird cut, that's because I'm going through and I'm trimming out all the stuff that's got me hit so that I can maybe get remonetized. I reapplied. They said it takes like a month. But let JS fly. He's a peak. Let me fly. You gotta let me fly, Cap. When's the last time you did a desk pop? Boom. Desk pop. I did a desk pop, Cap. Captain on Peacock, you gotta let me fly. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. Best comedies. Interview, not in order. Not in order. Just off the top of my head. I'm not ordering them. But The Interview. That movie that I was just talking about. Now I can't even remember the name of it. Not Good Guys? The Other Guys. The Other Guys. Man, I have to think about this. We can't do this off the top right now because I'd have to think about this because there's a lot. My top 5 favorite comedies. Something with Will Ferrell's got to be in there. Maybe even 2 Will Ferrell movies. Maybe like... Well, Will Ferrell's in The Other Guys. So there's one. And then I might even have to throw like Talladega in there. The Interview. I love The Interview. Maybe like an older one, like Old School. Something like Old School or like maybe like a 40-Year-Old Virgin type movie. I don't know. We'll have to think about that one. Gone Fishing is a good one. Step Brothers. Yes. That's the other Will Ferrell. I'll take Talladega out. Will Ferrell was taking up like 5 of the top 10. If we did top 10, Will Ferrell's in 5 of the top 10. Somebody said they don't like Will Ferrell in my chat one day. That's blasphemy. What is wrong with you? Maybe he's kind of fallen off. I don't know if he's done anything real crazy good lately. JS, you'll get it back. You put them in the corner and they're crying. You'll be fine. I don't know about all that, Dean. I got a little less than 5,000 subscriber channel. They'll shut me down in a heartbeat and nobody will care. So, and when that happens, we go to Rumble and Kick. We'll just keep it rolling. If they don't like Will, they out the Will. Yes, Ace Ventura is probably gonna make it in the top 5. Man, Ace Ventura. I watched Ace Ventura like every day for like 3 years when I was a kid. I had every word in that movie memorized. All right, so let's get on to this weird stuff. We talked about comedy. Dark, crazy. I'm not going to show this picture for very long. There's blood in it. Village council member in Ukraine sets off hand grenades during a meeting and injures 26 people. A village council member in western Ukraine detonated 3 hand grenades during a meeting Friday, critically injuring himself and at least 24 other people. I don't know if anybody died. The video posted on social media showed a man entering a room where the village council of Koretsky was meeting to discuss and improve the community's budget. The man who was preliminary identified. That seems like a typo. Preliminary identified as Serhiy Batrin, a council member who belongs to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's Servant of the People Party. Wow. Took 3 grenades from his pocket, removed the pins, and threw the weapons on the floor. It's so crazy. I'm gonna show the video because it's on YouTube, and it's from ABC News, which means they showed it on public broadcast television. I already did the warning. Maybe we get a little 18 plus on this video because of this, but I'll warn you now. There's no blood. There's no limbs flying across the screen. it's just crazy how casually this guy walks in the room, pulls 3 grenades out of his pocket, and just drops them on the floor. He doesn't like chuck them. He doesn't come in like Allahu Akbar and start throwing them around. He just comes in, pulls grenades out of his pocket, and drops them on the floor. And when they go off, and also let's reserve a little space and understand that we can't trust anything. And this could all be propaganda. This could all be fake. So I've let it breathe for a couple days so we could see. But just understand that when I'm reporting on these things and I use a lot of leftist media sources, I understand that there's a lot of propaganda, and I understand that they're trying to divert us and mislead us and all this. I get that. I'm just reporting on the news. But I'm just saying, reserve a little space that this video looks weird, because I imagine, maybe it's from movies or something, but I imagine grenades were much more destructive. And this almost looks like a M80 or something. So here comes the video. Get ready. This is crazy. It's wild. But it's not like super graphic or violent or anything. Here we go.
Video that shows the moments a Ukrainian politician detonated multiple grenades during a village meeting. This video might be disturbing to watch.
So they showed it on public broadcast television, ABC News 7. That's what we're reporting on YouTube. This is the source. It's on YouTube. It's on. Okay. Okay, actually watching it on a bigger screen, that is a pretty big explosion. But that's it. Wow. Look, he's wearing all black, and he comes in and he just casually, could you imagine? That's crazy. He just casually drops 3 grenades on the floor. I don't know if anybody died, but 26 people injured. Let's watch this in instant replay. Playback speed 0.5.
Watch.
Rolling. Wow.
Hard to watch, at least.
That's insane. That's really crazy to see.
26 people were hurt. Officials say the suspect was allegedly upset over budgetary issues. The incident
yeah, he's upset, all right. Over budgetary issues?
is being investigated as a...
What, you haven't been given enough money? You don't have enough money for your budget? Haven't we given you like $100 billion? What are you bitching about? You dropping grenades over budgetary issues. We just sent you like $100 billion. Where's that money going, Zelensky? This is your people's party, guy.
Potential terror attack. Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
A potential terror attack? Seemed pretty terrifying to me, if you ask me. Isn't terrorism political-based violence? Pretty sure that qualifies. That's wild. That's wild. So I might get in trouble for playing that. I've seen a lot of other people weren't playing it. Don't worry, I won't play the other. We got 2 crazy videos from government buildings, and I'm not going to play the other one, nor will I watch it. But I did watch that one, and I did play that one. Ukrainian deputy detonates grenades at council meeting, injures 26. Deputy tossed grenades during a village council meeting this morning in a village in western Ukraine, injuring 26, with 6 remaining in critical condition. Local deputy lobbed 3 grenades during a village council meeting in the Transcarpathian region of western Ukraine, injuring 26 others in the process, with 6 currently in critical condition. According to police reports, the incident took place in the council building in the village of Koretsky at around 11 a.m. this morning. A video published by the police shows a man entering the building, standing by the door to the meeting for a few seconds before removing 3 grenades from his coat pocket and casually tossing them onto the floor. The video is shown below, but may be unsuitable for some viewers. Police investigating the incident said the deputy was alive and has been resuscitated by medics. It is not known how he obtained the grenades. Well, we're sending all kinds of money to Ukraine. I guess everybody's just got grenades now. Ukrainian politics, but they're bitching about budget. Ukrainian politician Oleksiy Horikanchenko identified the man seen in the video as Siri Batrin, a deputy from the Servant of the People Party. According to Horchenko's Telegram update, Honcharenko's Telegram update, the council had met to discuss its 2024 budget. While incidents involving grenades are not common in Ukraine, they are not unheard of. On November 19th, a grenade exploded inside an apartment in Kiev, killing a woman and her 51-year-old acquaintance. Earlier the same month, a birthday grenade gifted to the assistant of Ukraine's top military commander, Valery Zaluzny, detonated by accident, killing the assistant in the process. So, lots of grenade accidents in Ukraine. But that's wild. That's wild. Why are they having budgetary issues? So much so that people inside of the government with Zelensky's own People's Party are dropping grenades and doing terrorist attacks when we're sending them hundreds of billions of dollars, right? Or hundreds of millions. I'm not good with numbers. We're sending them a lot of money, basically. Why do they have budget issues? What the heck? Looks amateur. Beta news, in my opinion. I've seen a ton of channels playing the video. You should be cool. Okay. Those would work better if you stored them in a... Oh, God. Stubborn ones. Stop it, stubborn one. Damn. Here come the feds. The feds are on the channel now. Percussive grenade. That could be the case. So it's like a flashbang. You think? Only the front row should have got shrapnel. Looks like he held on to the third one. The third one goes off at the end of the video, but yeah, you might be right because it goes off real far to the right. Ukrainian base drop. Tossing nades into government meetings is pretty big. Okay. Oh, stubborn one's going to get me in trouble. Flash dance. He fumbled. Oh, okay, yeah, dude raised $40K for legal funds. The guy in Iowa, yeah, we just talked about that right before you got here. I did not see that he raised $40K for legal funds. That's cool. That's good. He's based. Jeff Dunham, the puppet guy. I kind of like the ventriloquist comedian. Yeah, that's Pepe on a stick. Pepe pepper on a stick on a steak. What the heck's that? Yeah, that's Jeff Dunham. He's all right. Kind of weird movie, but hilarious. Nacho Libre. Nacho Libre is pretty good. The Elf was funny. You sit on a throne of lies. Oh, that's Will Ferrell. Elf. Oh, yeah, Christmas movies. Maybe next week we'll talk about everybody's favorite Christmas movie. Because next week's show is going to be on Christmas. We'll talk about Christmas movies. We'll talk about Christmas not being pagan. And maybe we won't do much news next week. We'll just chill and talk about Christmas stuff. Do some Bible thumping. One supposedly died from the Ukrainian video show. Okay. Yeah, you might be, because I put all these stories together on Saturday. So since then, somebody might have died. Latina and Callie is saying. Lil Z is sus AF. I don't know who Lil Z is. Is that a rapper? Anyway, guys. Where's my soundboard? Hold on one second. Let me try to get my soundboard working. Because it's time for the memes. And I need the sound effects. Let's do Control-Alt-Delete. Task Manager. Let's kill. I need to kill voice mod. It's not even running. Well, we might... Oh, wait, here we go. End task. End task. Cool. Okay, we ended all the voice mods. Now let's reopen voice mod. It's not working. Oh, it's working. Oh, it's working. I'm a genius. Lil Z is Zelensky. Oh, School of Rock is the best Jack Black movie of all time. I think I would disagree with that. I can't think of any other. Well, Nacho Libre. I feel like there's better ones, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. Let's check the soundboard. Oh! Damn, I probably just blew you guys' eardrums out with that. I probably just blew out the eardrums. Should we do nah. Hold on one second. We got to open these memes. Let me make sure I don't have anything doubled or tripled in here. I think we're good. Okay. Yeah, we're good. All right, guys, it's time for the memes. The blue whale has a vagina big enough to fit 6 grown men. That makes it the second biggest pussy in the world, next to dudes who voted for Biden.
Beta!
Oh, Tropic Thunder. Yes, we got to throw Tropic Thunder on the list. Okay, next meme. Global revenue of Walt Disney Company in the fiscal years 2006 to 2022. Get woke, go broke, huh? Get woke, go broke, huh? Disney, who got me demonetized and gave me my strike. Disney, get woke, go broke, huh? 2006, they made $33 billion. It goes up. It goes up. Oh, it went down a little bit. Up, 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 up. Oh, it went down a little tiny bit. Up, up. COVID happens. It dropped down a little bit, about $1 billion. Oh, 2022, they made $82 billion. Wow. Wow. That's almost a triple increase from 2006. But get woke, go broke is real. Get out of here. Next. Andre 3000 has broken a Billboard record with his song from his Flute album titled I Swear I Really Wanted to Make a Rap Album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. That's the name of his new album. And by the way, I fact checked this. This is real. Andre 3000, I know you like to think your ish don't stink, but lean a little bit closer, see what roses really smell like. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That guy, well, he just came out with a Flute album. And it's called I Swear I Really Wanted to Make a Rap Album. This is literally the way the wind blew me this time. Has now become the longest running song to ever hit the charts at 12 minutes and 20 seconds. It's a 12-minute song and it's on Billboard charts. Let's go. Let's go. Next. I wish I had my on the flute, but that's copyright. I can't play it. It's an iceberg and it's Titanic. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Iceberg says rock. Titanic says scissors. Smash. Obviously, the maker of this meme didn't know that the Titanic was actually just an insurance scam and that Captain Smith had driven into multiple icebergs on purpose. Anyway, next. Conceal carry. Open carry. What the? No.
It's a man, baby.
Merry Christmas. Happy Schwanza. Happy Hanukkah.
No. Get out of here. You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Now get ready for... Okay, guys. Usually I figure these out. I go in the comments and I figure them out if I can't figure them out. But I'm going to ask... I don't know this one. I did not look in the comments. Does anybody get this? You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Now get ready for... Juice... I was thinking juice in a moose, but this is not a moose. This is a deer. Steroids in a vax in an ass. Vax in an ass. No, it's not a donkey, and it's not. It looks like steroids. Not. You guys get this one? You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Now get ready for. I can only think of juice in a moose, but this is not a moose. This is a buck. Buck stuck in a buck. Needle in a stuck in a shot in a. What is this? Can anybody figure this out? Buck in the butt. Buck in the butt. That's dumb. No, it's got to be. Help me out. Help me out. Deer on the gear. That's it. That's got to be it. Deer on the gear. Let's go. Got your 6 as the winner. You've won absolutely nothing. But the pride of saying that I think that's correct. Gear in the deer. Gear in a deer. In the rear. Gear in the rear of the deer. Gear in the rear of the deer. I think that's right. I think that's right. Delts on the elk. Nah, I think it's deer with the gear in the rear. Gear in the rear of the deer, deer in the gear in the deer. I think that's correct. I think that's correct. All right.
Merry Christmas, Happy Schwanza, Happy Hanukkah.
Next. Celebrities are our moral superiors. They know what's best for us. Celebrities are our moral superiors. They know what's best for us. Cardi B. I wonder how pee tastes like. Beta. I wonder how pee tastes like. When you get your money right, you post with your blue check mark. I wonder how pee tastes like. That's awesome. I'm so confused and I love it. Rear gear in a deer. Next. Cardi B makes music for girls who say, "My kids are my world," when their grandmother has custody. Yep. Beta. Next. The beta is really loud. Next. This isn't even, there's not even a caption to this. Caption this, chat. This is somebody trying to make these little piglet cookies, and theirs didn't come out so hot. I would not eat those. Those are beta cookies. Beta. Those are beta cookies. I would not eat those cookies. Don't eat them. If you show me that cookie, I'm going. Next. I can't possibly afford to eat like that. $12.99 a pound for steak. Meanwhile, $24.83 for some Five Guys fast food. No problem. This is so true. When I used to want to do the carnivore diet, I was like, well, I can't afford it. Really, you can afford it. You spend more money eating out and buying garbage than just buying meat. I'm not on the carnivore anymore. For the most part, I still, like, I had burgers and onions tonight. Just burgers with no buns, nothing. It's just patties and onions. So I still kind of do it, but I in order to eat a snack at work or something, I'll eat Pop-Tarts or chips or something like that as a snack. And I've been buying like microwave stuff because it's fast for before work or before I go to bed. A little quick microwave meal. And those aren't healthy. But yeah, you can eat healthy. Even though it's expensive, it is more expensive now, but yes. Anyway, next. She knows damn well nobody is paying attention to that dog. Yeah. Yeah, ain't nobody looking at that dog. Who cares about the stupid dog? We're looking at one thing. Nobody cares about the stupid greyhound in the picture. Next. When you get promoted to Facebook group admin, I have recently been placed in charge of garbage. Yes. Cookies were huge. Peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. In my chef. I'm a chef. I'm a chef. I'm a chef. All home cooked all the time. Yep, the food, yep. Next. We're back in the hospital because Jake set his butthole on fire again. You have the wrong number, but please keep me updated. Oh my effing God. Oops, sorry. No, come back. I want to hear everything. This is the greatest wrong number anybody's ever seen. Jake set his butthole on fire again. I kind of just want to send this as a mass text to a whole bunch of numbers and see what happens. Next. Oh, wait. Hold on. Sound effect. Jake set his butthole on fire. Next. Hey, can you work tonight? No, I just ate 25 strips of acid. I'm not working tonight. Brain shut down. Brain shut down. 25 hits of acid.
Beta!
Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Next. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. Just cover it with a happy little chemtrail. Said no Bob Ross ever. Yeah, Bob Ross ain't never put no chemtrails in his dang paintings.
Merry Christmas, Happy Schwanza, Happy Hanukkah.
Next. This doll looks like it's about to lecture me on my carbon footprint. Look at that doll. Oh, man. That's funny. Next. When you and your spouse yell punch buggy at the same time on a road trip and your kids just stare at you confused. It's ancient custom. It's ancient custom. Yeah. When I was on Mad Crew, we played crazy punch buggy. We had all sorts of extra rules. Yellow on wheels. If you see a yellow car that's not a bus, it can't be like a DHL truck or like a bus. It can't be like a business. But if you see a yellow car, we would punch for yellow on wheels. Beaver whack is if you see a car with wood paneling on the side, you go beaver whack and you whack them. Punch buggy. We had a FedEx. If you see a FedEx truck, you punch for that. And if it's a trailer, truck and trailer, you get 2 punches. And if it's extra trailers, you get more punches. So if it's like a double 24-wheel FedEx, you get like 3 punches for that. Yeah, we were always punching each other. Violence. Next. The people who bought those 20-foot skeletons and keep using them are the real heroes. Yeah. Yeah, this is Christmas. This is a Christmas miracle right here, to be honest. Hold on. This is a Christmas miracle. Deck the halls with bells of holly.
Deck the halls with bells of holly. La 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. La 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 la.
Okay, enough of that. I have too many windows open. I can't see what's going on. Next. We would be free by now if you would just comply. I literally never stopped being free. Yeah, and I didn't need a constitution to make me free either. I never stopped being free. God made me free. Next. DeSantis supporters, Trump supporters, Vivek supporters all come together, Knights of the Round Table, to say Nikki Haley sucks. So true.
Beta!
Nikki Haley sucks. I agree. Next. Oh, Lord. This one cracked me up, stubborn one. It took me a second to figure out what it was on my phone. But hopefully you guys can see it more clear. Oh, Lord. She going for the giant pie on the wall. This lady. She going for the cookies and the pie. What the? Oh, that's funny. Next. Tinkerbell and her cousin Taco Bell. Dang! Oh, man. Next. It's cold outside. Dang, my shift stick shriveled. My shift stick shriveled up into my car. It's cold outside.
Beta.
Next, Little Debbie, Lil Debbie, Little Dabby, Little Diabetes, and Little Deb Hee Hee. Little Debbie, Lil Debbie, perping a blunt. Little Dabby, Little Diabetes, and Little Debbie Hee Hee.
Merry Christmas, Happy Schwanza, Happy Hanukkah.
Next. What's chat saying? All artists know suicidal. Yeah. Your memes are what I live for. Well, thank you. Next. Damn, you must have a sad life if this is what you live for, but thank you. My fondest childhood memory is not having to spend 40 hours a week with people who make me feel angry and tired so that I can afford to buy paper towels and laundry detergent. So true. But that's part of being a man.
It's a man, baby.
Next. Every government the last few years. I love you. I love you. That's Annie. That's Annie from not Needful Things. Oh my God. What is the book? What is the book? What is the book? It's not Needful Things. It's another Stephen King book. Phil Hartman is in the movie. He did. In the movie, she has, I can't remember, but in the movie she smashes his feet with something, and it's not the same thing that she uses in the book. I can't remember what the difference is. But it's Misery. Yes, Misery. Yeah, I think that's one of the few books that I've read twice, and I've seen the movie. Next, I usually won't read a book twice. There's some books I've read twice. I think Ender's Game, I've read like 3 times. Misery, I read twice. Leave My Ankles Alone. Remember, it's not racism if you're a Democrat. I don't have this story in rapid fire, but this was a story this week. Boston mayor under fire for secret no whites Christmas party. This is Michelle Wu. Some chopstick lady. I wish I had keyboard. I wish I had a keyboard here, like a piano, and I would play plum 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 plum. I know how to play that on the piano. It's not tough. Michelle Wu had a no whites Christmas party. Then she came out and said that it was a mistake. It was a typo. We just accidentally said no white people allowed at the Christmas party. Shocker. Fun story. Next. What the heck is that? Oh my God, that's Tommy. Oh my God. I need to close Facebook. Tommy's blowing out my eardrums. I want to live in a country where military officers behead public tributes to Satan infinitely more than I want to live in a society where tolerating something like that is viewed as morally superior position. Yep, we talked about that story. What's the guy's name? You sent me another meme and I didn't include it because I didn't know who Saint Boniface was, stubborn one. But then while I was doing my Christmas is not pagan research, I learned who Saint Boniface was. And is this him? He basically cut down this tree where they were doing like pagan rituals, and he hung it upside down. So now some people hang the Christmas tree upside down out of respect for him. I don't know. I don't know all about that story, but we'll find out more about Saint Boniface on next week. Next week's show, we'll talk about him. But yeah, he like cut down a pagan tree. Chopstick lady. Yeah. Next. Oh my God, Tommy. Tommy is called 4 times. Tommy is called 4 times. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's share this to Tommy because he hasn't figured out in 2 years that the show's on Monday. So that he stops trying to freaking call. Even though I think he does it as a troll. I think some people put him up to it. Oh, he's calling multiple different rooms. That's what he's doing. He needs to talk to someone. All right. The world may tell Christians to submissively accept the legitimization of Satan, but none of the founders would have considered government sanction on satanic altars inside Capitol buildings as protected by the First Amendment, Cassidy told Republican Sentinel. So that's the guy, base guy, Christian conservative, and he's correct. The founding fathers did not support that. We've totally perverted this idea of freedom of speech, you know, and I don't need a Second Amendment to tell me whether or not I'm allowed to have a firearm. If I were not a felon, then I wouldn't need a Second Amendment. Even if I was a felon, I still wouldn't need the Second Amendment to give me permission to sell my garment and buy a sword. I don't need a constitution to tell me I can do that. Next, we have reached the point where our capitals are removing Jefferson monuments. I'm getting tongue twisted. We have reached the point where our capitals are removing Jefferson while monuments to Satan are erected. Realize where we are. Yep. That's true. That's true. Beta.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah.
Next. I wouldn't do anything for a Klondike bar. Yeah, I don't like mint, and I can't stand Klondike bars. I would not do anything for a Klondike bar. But I do some pretty shady stuff for a whole plate full of tacos. I love the taco. I love the taco. That's right. Next. You can't just call every gun grabber a commie. That's where you're wrong, commie. Next. You left the toilet seat up. Meanwhile, this is what the countertop looks like when the woman's in the house. Oh, man. Horrible. I can't stand this. I can't stand this. Clutter. My OCD goes crazy. I can't do it. Founding fathers didn't say take your tyrannical government to court if they're being tyrannical. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. T-Bone, where's Tommy T-Bone? Where's Tommy T-Bone? How dare you? How dare you? Chopstick lady, I dare you to talk to Tommy. I talk to Tommy all the time. But I'm in the middle of a show right now. Everyone should have the right to protect themselves. What is a right? What do you mean the right to protect themselves? What does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything. The right to protect. Everybody should have their the duty to be responsible. You don't need a right to protect yourself. That's not even a thing. That doesn't even make sense. Nobody needs a right to. You don't need a right to do what's right and what's legal. Rights are an imaginary thing. A constitution, a founding father did not give you any rights. You don't need the right to protect yourself. You have the duty to. You have the responsibility to protect yourself. You have the responsibility to protect other people if they're in danger, and you have the means to help them. But no, rights are an imaginary thing. When the tacos are extra saucy, everyone enjoys it. Next. Hang in there, fellas. Only a few more weeks until Christmas. Yes, I need some socks. Somebody get me some Christmas socks because my socks are looking like that right about now. That is true. Next. Just one more beer, then I'm going home. One Bud Light later. Oh, Bert Kreischer, whack. Bert Kreischer fell off with this guy hugging with their shirts off. This is your conservative sponsor. Beta. Extra sour. Whoa. What the? Next. This vacation sucks. Bah. Nonsense. Take a moment and enjoy the culture. Dark. Ah, France. Ah, Londistan. Yeah, that's Europe. Go to Europe. Might as well just go to Iran. Next. Southwest introduces new C-17 cargo plane capable of carrying your mom. So true. Your socks will last longer if you be sure not to walk barefoot in your socks. I never walk barefoot. I walk barefoot sometimes. I don't walk barefoot in my socks. What do you think? I am crazy? What the? My bag. Next. Democrats are doing the Lord's work. Democrats are doing the Lord's work.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah.
Therefore, I am convinced I am acting as the agent of our Creator. By fighting off these Jews, I am doing the Lord's work. Who said that? Sounds a lot like what Nancy Pelosi said up there.
Beta!
Next! I can't say his name. No one. Democrat senator staffers in the Senate hearing room. It's not easy being green. What the? Kermit, close the butthole. Kermit. Oh my God. Kermit, close the butthole. Oh no. Kermit, he's coming. Okay. Enough of that. Next. All I need is a few stolen memes to get me on my feet. All I need is a few memes to get me on my feet.
Wait till I get my money right.
Shout out, hobos. Next. You got to work for this booty. Where? What booty? You got no ass at all.
Beta!
You ain't got no booty. Where ain't no booty there? Dang. That is a weak booty. Ain't nobody working for that. Next. Wait, they're butt effing in the Senate? Always have been.
Beta!
Always have been. Butt effing in the Senate. Always have been. Next. Dear Santa, when I asked for a 30-year-old escort, this is not what I had in mind.
Beta!
Dang, Santa. What is this? Next. Just one more thing. If your electric car runs out of power on the interstate, do you walk to a charging station to get a bucket of electricity? Or do you just honk your horn and hope that somebody comes along and helps you? Nope. You're screwed. Next. I want a man who, keep in mind that you're 30 with 2 kids, no degree, and you're on welfare. But please, go on. And that's it for the memes. That's all the memes. That's all the memes. I hope some guys aren't turning these poor old folks into slaves, making them beg for money. The hobos? Maybe. You know, some homeless people will borrow families. Like, I knew ladies who would leave their kids. They would go to work and they would leave their kid with a homeless lady. And the homeless lady would panhandle with the kid there. And it wasn't even their kid. They were basically, so you got the one lady's working, making money that they spend on drugs. And the other person's panhandling, babysitting the kid so they don't have to pay for childcare. They just leave their kid with a homeless person who panhandles all day with the kid that isn't theirs. And then they spend all the money that they both make on drugs. Pretty fun, fun story, huh? Yeah. Okay. So that's it for the memes. Let's do reels and rapid fire. Let's try to wrap this up by 10. We're gonna read about the laws of logic, but I think I will just do a quick run through of it and then preview for you for what we'll do research. I think I'm gonna do more of these research gaming streams where I just play some chill video games that don't take a lot of thought while we do research into deeper topics. So I'll give you a little preview so that I can get off of here by 10 of what we'll be talking about probably maybe tomorrow, or technically, yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday, tomorrow, after I get off work, I'll probably stream some Terraria and we'll go deep into learning about the laws of logic. But tonight, and Freddie needs to listen to that. I hope he's here and he listens. But we'll touch on it tonight, and I won't read everything tonight. We'll dig deeper and watch some videos tomorrow during a game stream. But for now, let's get to reels and rapid fire news. The B block. Actually, the C block. Double O beta. In reality, that's the kind of stuff that happens, though. Oh, yeah. All right. Open these. Yes, new window. 1 second. Pause this. We got the return of Butterknife Jr. I don't know why these crack me up so much, but I played one last week. We got another one this week. The return of Butterknife Jr.
Motherfucker just ordered 7 Butterknife Juniors. Butterknife Jr., Butterknife Jr. He running around in darkness like, hey, where's my Butterknife Jr.? Here's your Butterknife Jr. He's like, where's my Butterknife Jr.? Here's your Butterknife Jr. Order fucking complete. Now I'm pushing this team because Captain East St. Louis don't give 2 fucks.
He's just killing people in Call of Duty with a dang knife. All he uses is the shield and the knife, and he just says Butterknife Jr. I love it. I don't know why this cracks me up so much.
Beat his ass with my shield made of Negrotanium, and I played up and wait for his teammate, and I hear his teammate
Negrotanium. Dang.
May coming, so I finish him with a Butterknife Jr. And I hit him with the Butterknife Jr. for the oops, you thought you had me double kill. You can't tell me he real. Butterknife Jr. Because I swear I thought he's one of those fake decoy airbag deployed people. He bust through the door, Butterknife Jr. This motherfucker sizzling. Butterknife Jr. Get that hot grease away from me for the double kill. Now I'm chilling in the darkness and he don't see me. Hit him with a Butterknife Jr. but he absorbed it. So I beat his ass with a sawed-off broomstick. His teammate not that lucky. Hit him with the Butterknife Jr. for the Butterknife Jr. double kill. Now I'm pulling up on his team and so is Freaky Tay. He get put down and I put this motherfucker down. His teammate finished Freaky Tay. So since you finished Freaky Tay, we finna get a freaky team wipe today. Hit him with the classic ass in your face, ass in your face. And now I'm about to break that back for the freaky double kill. Now I'm with my team. And
okay, enough of that. Butterknife too. I don't know why I love that so much, but here's some good impressions.
Hey, what's up? I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
Recasting Star Wars. This guy just does good impressions. There's Mark Wahlberg.
Well, it's just a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs, which is technically a distance, but don't look into that. Hey!
Will Smith as Chewbacca. Awesome.
Anakin Skywalker was weak.
The Rock.
I destroyed him. But seriously.
Rock Vader.
Well, the Force is what gives a Jedi his power. Energy created by all living things. It surrounds us, penetrates us, and binds the galaxy together. Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper? That's why I suggest a new strategy, R2. We'll let the Wookiee win.
It's it's JBPO.
Beep boop, bat beep. Beepity boop boop. There's a day started pretty okie day with a brisky morning munchie. Then boom, getting very scared, grabbing that Jedi, and pow, me's a here. Okay, you can do or do not. All right, there we go.
Yoden. This is Denzel Yoda.
No try now, son. Huh? Blow that piece of junk out of the sky! Here's that one's just normal. Just, yeah? Recast Star.
That was pretty good. Good impressions. Good impressions. I like it.
Get off the game, like.
This is funny. She's trying to get her man off the video game.
Pay attention.
I'm on the game. Don't come in talking all that rah-rah. I'm on the game.
Bitch, I'm on the game.
You want me to get off, watch a movie with you? I'm like, She think I'm finna get off for some head. I'm like, ha. I'm on Warzone with the boys, ho. I'm trying to get this dub.
Trying to get this dub.
And I ain't posted in the club. Had these hoes smoking hookah, drinking Casamigos, acting up. So if there's something that you don't want, you better back it up. Back to the game, gotta lock the in. All my boys got they loadout money, gotta hold up my end. So we get the load. Back
to the game. Bitch, I'm on a game. Okay, enough of the reels. Enough of the funny stuff. Let's get back to the news. He be sipping, creeping, scheming. He watches everything. Frederick's waiting on Discord. Yeah, he's lurking like a mug. Yep. If women are twerking like that now, they're not getting. Bitch, I'm on a game. That cracked me up. Okay. Let me go use the restroom real quick. Listen to some Christmas music. Christian music, Christmas music. Same thing. Same thing. And I'll be right back. What do you want to hear?
Oh, come, all ye faithful.
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. God of God, light of light, lo, he abhors not the virgin's womb. Very God begotten, not created. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Sing, choirs of angels, sing in exaltation. Sing, all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God, glory in the highest. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us
adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Okay, enough of that. We back. All right, we got rapid fire news. We'll try to go quick through these. Updates on Israel. We got the hostage shooting. Apparently, Trump is already a shoo-in for the Republican primary. Giuliani's got to pay some money. We got an update on the 6-year-old Virginia shooting. His mom's going to be going to jail. So let's burn through these news stories real quick. Israel updates from NPR. 3 hostages killed by Israeli soldier in Gaza were waving a white flag. And this is from December 16th. It's the 18th now. This has been a big deal. Now they're asking for more. Oh crap. I just lost the story. Hold on one second. Oh man. Hold on, I can get it back. They're asking for another ceasefire so more hostages can be released. So the Israeli soldier who shot and killed 3 Israeli hostages in Gaza City after mistakenly identifying them as a threat did not follow Israel's rules of engagement, an Israeli military official said Saturday. A preliminary report of the incident also found that the hostages had been dressed in civilian clothes and waving a white flag before they were shot. The official said in a press briefing, remember, this could be propaganda. That I don't even want to preface everything with that because we should all know by now that not to believe anything. They were shot. They were waving a white flag. Initially, it was unclear how many Israeli soldiers were involved in the incident. The incident took place on Friday in the Shijaya neighborhood of eastern Gaza City, an area that has seen intense ground fighting between Israeli forces and the militant group Hamas since Israel launched its invasion in response to the October 7th attacks. During the fighting in Shijaya, the IDF inadvertently identified 3 kidnapped Israelis as a threat. As a result, the IDF fired at them and they were killed, said Rear ADM Daniel Hagari, a spokesperson for Israeli military, also known as the Israeli Defense Force, said Friday. This is a sad and painful event for all of us, and the IDF bears responsibility for everything that happened, he told reporters. The circumstances in which the Israeli soldier encountered the hostages and why the soldier believed the hostages were a threat remain unclear. So the initial assessment, this is crazy. So they shot some hostages. It's causing some problems. Initial assessment suggested the hostages either fled or were abandoned by their captors during the skirmish. So they're trying to do another ceasefire to let more hostages go. They're pissed off about that. That's your Israel update. That's an Israel update. That was big news. That was big news earlier in the week. Crazy how there's wars still going on about God. Why is that crazy? That's the best reason to fight a war. Really, the only reason you should be fighting a war is over ideologies. Unless everybody just stayed in their own place, and then it would be fine. But when they try to encroach on you, that's when you got to do something about it. Was it a 2 or a 1? A 2 or a 1? I should report you for being beta. If women are, I'm definitely behind on the stream, Josh. I just heard you say you want to try to get remonetized, so I'll definitely keep it PG in the chat and when I call in. Yeah, I don't think you've ever really been a problem with that. Occasionally, you get a little loosey-goosey and start dropping M-bombs, Seasal, but I don't think you've ever called in and said anything crazy inappropriate. And it's like, here's the thing. I try to have rules, but then when people break the rules, I don't want to kick them out or block them. I'll block people just because I don't like them. But if I like you, but you're cussing and stuff when you call in, I don't want to block you. But then I also don't want to keep nagging and say, quit cussing, like to Freddie or maybe like DJ on Paul or Mr. Matt or something. I like talking to him. I don't want to keep telling them to quit cussing. And then it kind of pushes me towards just not doing Discord, honestly. Because I don't want to tell somebody all the time, stop cussing. And then sometimes I cuss. So then it's like I'm being a hypocrite. But at the same time, if I just let everybody come on and talk all the mess, then it's not really, it's not doing what I want to do with the channel. I'm trying to push Christian values and things like this. And I don't know. It's a weird conundrum. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should just not do Discord or tell people, hey, if you don't say these things, if you do, I got to kick you out of the Discord. And then people get butthurt. They're like, oh, he kicked me out. He doesn't like me. And I don't know. It's a conundrum. I don't know what to do. Right, which sucks because the viewers getting involved in the convo is one of my favorite parts of your channel. Right. And I like that too. But I've had people who used to watch my channel who were like Bible thumper Christians. And then they don't watch my channel anymore because of the people that I have conversations with. And it's me too. It's like I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I think I can be made perfect. I'm being made perfect every day thanks to Jesus. But if I have a conversation, if me and Freddie are having a conversation about something that's kind of off color, or we talk sometimes during the fight streams, everybody's drinking, we get into some mess sometimes. And so the Bible thumper Christians are like, I'm not watching that. I'm not even gonna come to your channel anymore. People have told me that. So it's like, I don't know what to do. If you try to make everybody happy, you're gonna make nobody happy. So it's kind of like I'm just gonna do what I want to do. I'm just going to do what I want to do. You either like it and you hang out or you don't. And I don't really care. You're the boss. If you want to cuss sometimes, you can do it, but still can be like everyone else, no cussing. Yeah, that's kind of true. See, so. Or there's to have like a certain limit to it. I don't know. Don't have to Bible thump to believe and follow God. Some people go crazy with the thumping. Just do you and you're going to be just fine. Thank you, Flat Sabbath. Yeah, here's my thing with Bible thumping. I don't think what I do is Bible thumping. I read the Bible a lot. I study the Bible. I read about the original words and the Hebrew and how the words were translated and the history of it and the theology. I love learning about that stuff. And I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable on the Bible. But I don't really consider me a Bible thumper. What I always thought a Bible thumper was the person who's always trying to thump you over the head with the Bible. The person that anytime you bring them to a family event, you go out to dinner, you hang out with them, all they talk about is God, and it's always a Bible verse. It's always everything is a Bible verse, and then they're quoting the Bible verse, chapter and verse, and they just thump you over the head with the Bible. That's what I think of as a Bible thumper. Somebody who knows about and studies the Bible and loves reading the Bible, I don't really consider them like a Bible thumper. You know what I'm saying? Right, 100%. All right. There's a difference from reading and having the thumper and believing over hardcore thumpers. Yeah, thumper to me is they're thumping you over the head with the Bible. It's like you can't even have a conversation about anything without getting hit with a chapter and verse. And I've talked to those people. Let's move on with these stories. Let's burn through these stories. ABC News says the 2024 election presidential primary could be over in a month. Pretty much Trump is already a shoo-in. Friday marks 1 month until the 2024 Iowa caucuses, the official start to the Republican presidential nominating process, but the primary has been carrying on unofficially for nearly a year now, and in some ways it is basically already over. Basically, Trump is winning. Trump is the guy. That's basically what this article comes down to. ABC, CNN, they all see it. Based off the polls, Trump is the top dog. Polling leaders in December usually win the primaries. And right now, Trump has almost the highest ever polling advantages. The only person ever to have more of a polling advantage than Trump right now was Bush in 1992. Pretty good. So that's good news. Now we got some bad news also relating to Trump somewhat. Giuliani from Axios. Giuliani ordered to pay $148 million for defaming Georgia election workers. So having to do with the election stuff Trump's going through, these shamble witch hunt trials just to suck money out of people who were doing the right thing. A jury ordered Rudy. God, I can't read. I can't talk. A jury ordered Rudy Giuliani on Friday to pay $148 million in damages for defaming 2 Georgia election workers as part of his alleged efforts to undermine the results of the 2020 presidential election. Per multiple reports, $148 million Giuliani's got to pay for saying the election was some shenanigans may have happened. It's crazy. So I'm not going to read all this, just show you the headline. Giuliani, $148 million, crazy. We have an update on an old story that we reported on. I think we talked about this pretty in depth about like what should happen to the parents in this case. Whose responsibility is this? Who's at fault? Is the gun at fault? What happened? This is the 6-year-old boy who shot his teacher in Virginia with his mom's gun. And she said that she thought she had a trigger lock on it and that it was in her purse on the nightstand. The kid took the gun, went to school. I believe there had already been as usual, there had already been warnings about this kid had some social issues and needed to be kept alone and blah, 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 have their bag searched and stuff. They actually searched the kid's bag on that day. Didn't find the gun because I guess the gun was in their pocket when they searched the bag, and shot their teacher, a 6-year-old kid. Remember this story? Well, the mom has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. What do you guys think about that? Like, a 6-year-old? Yeah. Yeah, the parent is responsible. And if you're going to have a gun, you got to be responsible with your gun, especially if you have children. So, but 5 years is a long time. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. What do you guys think? Is this justified? Mom doing 5? Oh, it says 2 years. It says 2 years. I'm sorry. I thought I read that it was 5 years. Okay, 2 years is 2 years is a little more understandable, but she's not going to be allowed to have custody of her child until he's 18. I think they even said that she can't even see the child until he's 18. A Virginia mother held responsible for her 6-year-old son's shooting of his elementary school teacher this year was handed a 2-year sentence on Friday on a state charge of felony child neglect. She was 26 years old. She could have faced as long as 5 years in prison. So that's what I was thinking. But was given a shorter sentence by circuit judge. So they are actually kind of merciful on her. Includes 2 years of probation, 2 years jail, 2 years probation. Still, the judge's punishment was harsher than the 6 months behind bars suggested by prosecutors. Usually, it's kind of unusual that the prosecutors are requesting less than what the judge doles out. Who, as part of a plea deal, dropped a misdemeanor charge of reckless storage of a firearm. Taylor must begin her state sentence after she finishes serving 20 months on a related federal charge. I wonder if it's being run concurrent. She might have most of that time served by the time that's over. She pleaded guilty in June to a charge of using marijuana while owning a gun, which is illegal under federal law. Is it illegal for Hunter Biden to smoke crack and own a gun? Is he going to get hit with that? Because she's getting hit with that and was sentenced last month. The child is now 7, remains under the care of his great-grandfather, Calvin Taylor. Deja Taylor. I know a girl named Deja. She was cute. She can have supervised contact with her son at Calvin Taylor's discretion. So I read in one article that she can't have custody of him until he's 18, which by that point there's no custody, right? Because it's an adult. We were disappointed in the judge's sentence and believe it was excessive given her mental health issues as well as her being the repeated victim of domestic violence. Friday's hearing winds down one aspect of the case, which stunned the city of Newport News. That's where Mike Vick was from. I've been to Newport News. I like that place. Drew national attention to school safety and gun violence. Yeah, it's the gun's fault. But yeah, so just update on that. What do you guys think? 2-year charge. Your 6-year-old kid takes your gun and shoots their teacher. I think that's just. I think that's fair. 5 years, maybe a little too much. Let's see what chat's saying. Daddy Jump. Remember when there's a different discussion, can't teach wisdom. Bible thumpers turn the curse some verses. Remember when his hair leaked? Gay, chubby. I thought there was a trigger lock. Was BS. I'm torn. Parent very culpable. Got to either educate them on firearms or keep them banned from access. Did the teacher have it coming? Was she assigning a lot of homework to a 6-year-old? Homework is unconstitutional. Release that kid and clear him of all charges. No, the kid didn't get any. The kid didn't get any charges. The mom got 2 years. I also know a Deja who's fine as hell. Yeah, if you got a girl named Deja, she's probably cute. And this girl had a kid, so you know she likes to. Never mind. That's why women shouldn't be allowed to have guns. How do you allow adult children to even buy a gun? Oh, God. Oh, no. Daddy, just the teacher was asking for it. Yeah, if you don't teach a child how to use a firearm, then keep them away. So you guys think? I think 2 years is just. But I will say, after she serves her time, is it just to keep the child from the mother? till they're 18. Is that just? If she serves her time, why can't she have her kid back? Maybe she learns her lesson. Maybe she changes. Isn't that what the point of being incarcerated is supposed to? What's the freaking word I'm looking for? Rehabilitate you. It's supposed to rehabilitate you, right? It's supposed to, and it's supposed to clear your name. So why can't she have the kid back when he's a little older and she gets out of jail? She does her time. Why can't she get her child back? I don't like that. I don't like that. But I'm okay with 2 years. I'm okay with 2 years. Another homeless story from NPR. Homelessness in the U.S. hit a record high last year as pandemic aid ran out. So everybody got the pandemic aid. They got paid to not work. Now the aid runs out. Pandemic's over. Nobody wants to go back to work. Everybody's hiring. It's not that hard to get a decent job. When I really put my mind to it, the first job I applied to, I got a job. It's not that hard. And I have a crazy record. So I don't want to hear no excuses. And homeless in America spiked last year, reaching a record high, according to an annual count that provides a snapshot of one night in January. The report released today by the Department of Housing and Urban Development found more than 650,000 people were living in shelters. 650,000 out of 330 million. That's, I mean, well, okay. That's not that bad. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's almost, it's like 400. It's like 0.4% of the population, I think. 0.4% of the population. Let's see. 330, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, divided by 650,000. 5%. No. Is that 5%? No. 5.0%. Did I do that right? 330 million divided by 650,000? Or do I do 650,000 divided by 330 million? I can't remember. I suck at math. Let me see. That gives me 0. So 0.19%. That sounds more accurate. Anyway, 650,000 out of 330 million people are homeless. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy high numbers. We simply don't have enough homes that people can afford, said Jeff Olivet, executive director of U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness. When you combine rapidly rising rent, that it just costs more per month for people to get into a place and keep a place, you get this vicious game of musical chairs. Right, and they think that if you just raise the minimum wage, it's going to fix the problem. The people aren't working. They're not working, so minimum wage doesn't matter. And raising the minimum wage just raises the housing values, because you're not supposed to be able to afford a house on minimum wage or even an apartment. That's an entry-level position. You're not supposed to. Maybe if you should be able to afford a cheap apartment if you have 2 minimum wage jobs. Otherwise, you're going to need to find a better job. Thank God we have capitalism where you're not forced to work. You're not decided what you're going to do for the rest of your life based off your parents' social credit score when you're born. Great thing about communism, everybody's working. Everybody working. Nobody's homeless in communism. Everybody's got a place to live. Everybody's got food to eat. It might only be 1 loaf of bread every month, and you might be living in a coffin apartment, and you got a job. You might be working at a steel mill. You're a worker ant. You're a worker ant. Those are some of the benefits of communism. Less homelessness. Everybody's working. Unfortunately, it's just everybody's poor. Nobody's homeless, but everybody lives in a coffin apartment and works a menial labor job, digging trenches and stuff. 650K sounds low, honestly. Housing is wild these days. You think 650K sounds low out of 330 million? Maybe. Yeah, it sounded high when I read it, but it's actually not as crazy as maybe I would thought. But also the number's probably much higher than that. Those are only the ones they have accounted for. I'm sure it's probably more like 1.5 million would be my guess. But yeah, so homelessness going crazy. Avid ice climber falls to his death in Montana. In Bozeman, Montana, an ice climber fell to his death while hiking in Montana, according to local authorities. They were called on Saturday afternoon. Gallatin County. Deputies said an alert was activated near Grota Falls. At the same time, an eyewitness called 911 to say an ice climber had fallen and was hurt. The climber was identified as 36-year-old Kyle Allen Rott. Rott was described as an avid hiker, obviously not an avid ice climber. Sorry. Too soon. First responders said they transported Rott to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Crazy. Crazy little headline for you. What's this one? So now we got some social media news. Borderline useless. X removes headlines on news posts as critics say move changes site's functionality. So I guess to combat, like, you know how they do these garbage headlines to catch your attention and get you to click on an article, but nobody really reads the article. They just read the headline and then they start parroting it to other people. Did you know? And then they just quote a headline. So I guess Elon is removing headlines from news articles. So now you actually have to read the article and you can't just read a misleading headline, which I think is kind of interesting. I don't know if I guess it's kind of based, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, what it does. But critics say it changes the site's functionality and that it's borderline useless. X stopped displaying headlines on posts linking news articles on its desktop website earlier on Thursday, following through on what its owner Elon Musk said was an effort to improve how the platform, formerly Twitter, looks. The change began first rolling out on Twitter's mobile apps on Wednesday and started appearing on the website after midnight Eastern Time. Links to news stories on X were previously displayed as cards, including the article's lead image, a headline, and one-line summary. Now news links only display a lead image, which is clickable, and links to the news story with a small watermark at the bottom left showing the name of the news website. So that's interesting. More social media news from Twitch. We got two more stories in rapid fire news. I don't think we'll be wrapping the show up by 10. We'll probably make it 10:30. So Twitch changed their nudity policy to allow for digital and artistic nudity, and they got flooded with a bunch of drawings of naked people because all these weirdos on Twitch. You know, you can't have quote unquote free speech on Twitch. You'll get shut down for saying anything base, but you can put a bunch of anime boobies on there all you want. No headlines means 95% of people no longer get their news based as yeah, that's so true. That's so true. A church youth group I know went to Cuba for a missionary trip. They were shocked that a pound of beef was $30. Well, a pound of beef in America is $22. Or no, oh no. 5 pounds. I bought 5 pounds for $20. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. That's communism for you. Exactly. Ain't nobody about to read a whole article. That's what I'm here for. I do the reading so you guys don't have to. So Twitch rolls back nudity policy after platform is spammed with sexually explicit drawings. This lasted for 2 days. They changed the nudity policy, got flooded with naked drawings, and then they put it back 2 days later. This is from NBC News. The Amazon-owned live streaming platform had previously announced that it would allow nudity in specific instances. Twitch, the live streaming platform known for gaming content, announced Friday it had rolled back its updated nudity policy after just 2 days following incidents in which users posted sexually explicit content that went against the platform's guidelines. The streaming company has struggled to moderate sexual content throughout the year. Yeah, it was the topless meta, the jacuzzi meta. where all the girls are in jacuzzis. In a blog post Friday, CEO Dan Clancy apologized and said Twitch went too far in deciding to allow artistic and digital depictions of fictionalized nudity, which it had announced on Wednesday. Moving forward, depictions of real or fictional nudity won't be allowed on Twitch regardless of the medium. This restriction does not apply to mature-rated games. Clancy's post read, "While I wish we would have predicted this outcome, part of our job is to make adjustments that serve the community." So they let in nudity on Twitch. It didn't work out too good. From Polygon, Twitch changes sexual content guidelines after topless meta goes viral. Several streamers went viral in early December for streaming while being perceived as topless, with creative framing like low-cut, tube top, or nipple covers and a properly positioned camera. The streamers maintain the illusion of being naked while live on Twitch. One streamer, an OnlyFans model who goes by Mogpie online, was banned by Twitch after a topless stream, but the ban was for off-screen boob clapping. What is off-screen boob clapping? Dang, I need to get on Twitch. This is what's going down on Twitch. Not for participating in the topless meta. Like the hot tub meta of 2022 and booby streamers before that, people are once again angry at successful women on the internet. Oh my God. The virality around the incident, as it has been in the past, was ignited by the belief that women use their looks and sex appeal to gain an unfair advantage over other streamers. No duh. It's a conversation that often comes with harassment women on the internet are familiar with, regardless of what they're doing online. But when sexual content is involved, it often blows up. The topless meta, a phrase established by the Twitch community for this particular trend, is not widespread as it might seem, given the oversized response. Several streamers. Okay, so the topless meta, boobies, women making money off of losers on the internet who are simps. Pretty much. That's it. And that's that story. That's it for the social media updates. We got one story left. One story left, and then we're done with all the news. Twitch clearly having too much fun. Yep. Read up my comment about communism survey. There was an internet survey a while back to decide what you do in communist society. Shit was hilarious regardless of your answers. It resulted in sustenance farmer. Yeah. Yeah, steel mill worker, manual laborer, trench digger, no matter how you answer it. You're just a worker ant. Or you could go fight for the country. Go join the military. And then you can be a veteran. All right, guys. Last story of the night. Last story of the night. The most beta story of the night.
Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah.
This is crazy. This almost made it into main story news, but I wanted to save it for a weird cess stuff segment in the rapid fire news. From Daily Mail. Senate staffer is caught filming amateur gay pornography in hearing room as graphic video emerges. Don't worry, guys. I'm not showing the video. I'm not showing it edited. I'm not sharing it. I'm not watching it. Even though all these conservatives are sharing it all over the internet. Why are you doing that? I don't know. Like, look at this gay video, guy. Look at this gay porn video, conservatives. Like, stop sharing it. We could talk about it. We don't need to share the video. We don't need to watch the video. And we have the guy's name also. I have it in. Let me pull. Originally, I was looking for the guy's name, and I couldn't find it. But I do have it now. So let me read this from Daily Mail. Senate staffer, already read that. Staffer filmed himself having sex, which is not true. Two men cannot have sex. That's literally impossible. Sex is male and female copulation. Is that the word? Male and female. Two men cannot have sex. It's not physically possible. There's no such thing as a homosexual. It's a homosodomule. So the staffer filmed himself having sodomy with an unknown man, according to the Daily Caller. Video obtained by the outlet shows the pair in a conference room in the Hart Senate office building. The staffer is seen in a separate picture naked on all fours, where senators often sit and ask questions during the hearings. You got dingleberries in Senate on your chair. Oh my God, this is crazy. What is going on in this country? A frisky congressional staffer has been accused of filming an amateur gay porn video inside a Senate hearing room. The employee had sex with an unknown man within the confines of the politically significant building, according to the Daily Caller. Video obtained by the outlet shows the staffer allegedly engaging in sex acts within what appears to be a conference room in the Hart Senate office building. From the Advocate, U.S. Capitol Police investigating video of two men having sex in the Senate hearing room. This is crazy. This is rapid fire news, so let's get through this quickly. In the video, two unidentified men engage in sodomy inside what appears to be a room known for hosting hearings. One of the men is nude and hunched over the diocese behind which senators would typically sit when conducting official business and questioning witnesses. The clip recorded from the perspective of the other participant. Oh, it's a POV video. Gross. Gross.
Beta.
Includes a brief pan of the Senate seal on the wall. We are aware and looking into this, a spokesperson for the Capitol Police told the Advocate Friday evening in the response to a request for the comment. The Advocate contacted the office of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. The New York Democrat did not immediately hear back. Widely circulated and unconfirmed reports online identified a staffer for Maryland Democrat Senator Ben Cardin as one of the people who were shown in the video. So a lot of these articles aren't telling you who it is, but I got it for you guys. Leaked amateur. See, none of these articles are showing the name. Here's the guy. Here's the guy for you. His name is Aiden Mace Zoropsky. Aiden Mace Zoropsky. Here's him with Joe Biden. This is the guy. Reddit staffer. I don't want to click on this video. I don't want to even look at these images, but there he is on the Senate floor. He posted, "I want Joe Biden to spit in my mouth."
Beta.
Oh my God.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah.
So this is your guy, Aiden Mace Zoropsky. A lot of people are not putting that name out there. A lot of the news, a lot of the media is not releasing the name. So make sure you know that name, just in case this guy ever gets into any other governmental office. If he's ever running for president for the Democrats, we can make sure people don't memory hold this and forget it. Oh, okay, I don't even want to keep looking through these pictures. It's kind of gay. Kind of gay. Yeah. So I don't even know what to say about that. This is the state of the country. That's it. Aiden Mace Zoropsky. Remember that name, so when he runs for president, we don't vote for him, because it'll happen. It's called Naughty America. Nobody does it better. Gross. Daddy Job, I almost beat. I don't know what that means. Anyway. Anyway, that's it for all the news. That's it for all the news. Just watch out for Aiden Zoropsky. Watch out for that guy. All right, guys. 9:52. I put it in the thumbnail that we were going to do our laws of logic research. So I'm going to touch on it. We're not going to spend a lot of time. We'll probably read more thoroughly into this and actually do full research into understanding the laws of logic during a gaming stream, maybe tomorrow. So if you see me doing a Terraria stream and you want to learn about the laws of logic, that's what we'll be talking about in the next gaming stream. Let me pull up these files and we'll read a little bit about it. Basically, the laws of logic. Some people say there's 3, some people say there's 4. So if there's 3, it would typically be the law of identity, the law of non-contradiction, or the law of excluded middle. Those are the 3 laws of logic. Or you could say that there's 4 laws of logic. The principle of individuality, similar to the principle of identity. The precept of excluded middle, so that's excluded middle. The principle of non-contradiction, or the principle of contradiction. You can't have contradictions. That's not logical. And then, I didn't finish writing this. Principle of sufficient something. There's a fourth one. Let me open this. Actually, it's only 6 things, so I probably just do it all tonight. We'll cover it all tonight. So what is this? What are the laws of logic? This is for if you're into like philosophy and debate. This is good stuff to know. It's stuff I want to learn about because I didn't have them memorized. I've heard of the laws of logic. I didn't have them memorized. So hopefully by the time I'm done with this, I'll have them all committed to my memory. Where did the original writing come from about that? Ew, gross, dude. I don't know. So let's take a look at this from Encyclopedia Britannica, the laws of thought. Laws of thought, traditionally, the 3 fundamental laws of logic. Number 1 is the law of contradiction. Number 2 is the law of excluded middle, or third. And number 3 is the principle of identity. The 3 laws can be stated symbolically as follows. 1, for all propositions, it is impossible for both P and not P to be true. It's impossible for P and not P to be true. That's the for all propositions which are P, it is impossible for both P and not P to be true. In which now we're getting some math symbols. So this is like written as like math equations. The squiggly line means not. This means not. Either P or P must be true. Either P or not P must be true, there being no third or middle true proposition between them. Or P variable is not P, in which V means or. P or not P. P or not to P. If a propositional function f is true of an individual's variable x, then f is true, or x, or this is turning into math, in which this means formally implies another formulation of the principle of identity asserts that a thing is identical with itself, or we're turning this into algebra. I'm not good with math. Aristotle cited the laws of contradiction and of excluded middle as examples of axioms. He partly exempted future contingents or statements about unsure future events from the law of excluded middle, holding that it is not now either true or false that there will be a naval battle tomorrow, but that the complex proposition that either there will be a naval battle tomorrow or there will not is now true. In the epical Principia Mathematica of Alfred North Whitehead and Bertrand Russell, this law occurs as a theorem rather than as an axiom. So yeah, so there's a theory to this, and they did it as math. Laws of logic. So this is basically how they turn this into a mathematical equation. This is where you lose me. This is where they lose me on this stuff. Equivalence, identity laws, P, this little arrow, T equals P, true or false. If P is true, then it is true, then it is P. If the proposition is true, then it is the proposition. If the proposition is not true, the proposition has to be either true or false. That's the identity laws. The domination laws, proposition is true, that equals true. If the proposition is false, that equals false. Idempotent laws. So see, these are adding all sorts of new ones. I'm new to the whole discrete math thing, and I'm having trouble finding any laws to start breaking the statement down into its equivalences laws. So they kind of lose me on this stuff. Depends on the axioms you use, but the law of excluded middle says that for any proposition, P is not P. What does that have to? So this stuff's confusing, guys. This is why we're doing research. I'm learning right along with you. Laws of logic isn't don't steal, lie, cheat. Believe in good. I don't know if that counts as logic. That is logical, though. The laws of thought are a sufficient foundation for the whole of logic, or that all other principles of logic are mere elaborations on them, was a doctrine common among traditional logicians. The law of excluded middle and certain related laws were rejected by the Dutch mathematician L.E.G. Brouwer, the originator of mathematical intuitionism. In his school, who did not admit their use in mathematical proofs in which all members of an infinite class are involved. Brouwer would not accept, for example, the disjunction that either there occur 10 successive sevens somewhere in the decimal expansion of pi, or else not, since no proof is known of either alternative, but he would accept it if it applied, for instance, to the first 10 to the 1,000th power to the 100th power digits of the decimal, since these could in principle actually be computed. Man, there's a lot of. Oh wait, where are we at? We're almost done with this article. In 1920, Jan Lukasiewicz, a leading member of the Polish School of Logic, formulated a propositional calculus that had a third truth value, neither true nor falsity, for Aristotle's future contingents, in a calculus in which the laws of contradiction and of excluded middle both failed. Other systems have gone beyond three-valued to many-valued logic, e.g., certain probability logics have various degrees of truth value. Right, so that's why it's not just the three laws of logic anymore. They've kind of expanded on it. So now we've got four laws. So like here it says the three laws of logic plus one, the law of comparisons. The rules of logic are nearly 2,500 years old and date back to Plato and Aristotle, who set down the three laws of thought: identity, non-contradiction, and excluded middle. The use of language in logic has been adequate for us to develop mathematics, prove theorems, and create scientific knowledge. However, the laws of thought are incomplete. We need to extend our logical system by adding to the very old laws of thought an essential yet poorly understood law. It is a necessary law of thought that resides in our biology even deeper than the other three laws. It is related to the rudiments of how we live as beings, how we as living beings and even non-living beings respond to influences as stimuli. It helps us disseminate between being ourselves and sensing that there is something else that is not ourselves that even amoebas seem to know. It is the intrinsic ability to sense and distinguish. This fourth law is the law of comparisons. Although it has been missing from our logical deductions, it underlines the other three laws of thought, because without it, we cannot know what it is and what it is not. That's deep. The original three laws of thought defined by Plato comprise the most basic requirements for identification and reasoning. First, that nothing can become greater or less, either in number or magnitude, while remaining equal to itself. That's the law of identity. Second, that without addition or subtraction, there is no increase or diminution of anything, but only equality. And that is the excluded middle. Third, that what was not before cannot be afterwards, without becoming and having become. And I think that's the non-contradiction. Holding it three laws plus one. Law one is the law of identity. Two entities, X and Y, are identical if they share the same properties. A necessary and sufficient condition for these two entities, X and Y, to be identical is that they share the same properties. In other words, for all X and all Y, the statement X is Y implies that for every property, or P, if X has that property, then Y has that property also. And conversely, it's also true that all properties for X and Y have the same properties, then they are identical. So that's the law of identity. If two things are identical, then they are the same. If X is not identical to Y for all Y, then it is identical with X, enabling one to make a distinction of X from all Y. According to Leibniz, the law of identity is first primitive truth of reason that is affirmative, yet one can discern from the statement, blah, 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 blah. Damn, this is deep. Yeah, I'm going to have to spend more time learning about this, because we can't really just blow through this. So maybe during a gaming stream, we'll go deeper into all of this. And I know it's probably boring for you guys, but I like learning about this stuff. So, and I told you I'm going to do what I want to do. And it interests me, something I can read about and talk about and spend some time on it. Law 2 is the law of non-contradiction. Either X or not X is true, and there's no other possibility. This means the opposite assertions cannot be true at the same time. Here again, two entities are involved, X and not X. And to determine which it is, distinction between them needs to be made through comparison. In logic, to show that X holds its equivalent to showing that not X does not hold. Does that make sense? If there's X and there's not X, they cannot be the same thing. That's the law of non-contradiction, right? And then law 3, the law of excluded middle. This one I don't really understand. An entity X has or does not have a property P. Conversely, a property P is either possessed by an entity X or it is not possessed by X. This law does not allow for different degrees of property P. To talk about degrees of properties is clearly different from the black and white distinctions that laws 2 and 3 require. Further, to identify X, as in law 1, we have to know not only what properties it has, but also to what extent it has these properties. Thus, it appears that knowledge about comparison must precede those 3 laws, and we must introduce a new law that proceeds from them. Once we admit that comparisons are a biological talent, and that we need to be more precise about understanding things, we can elaborate deterministic outcomes into all shades of gray, which in fact we human beings are able to detect. So law 4, the law of quantitative comparison. So this is a new law that they're proposing, giving two entities X and Y, both having property P. Either X has P more than Y, less than Y, or is indifferent to Y. When X and Y are closely similar, homogeneously close, it is possible by using expert judgment to estimate the dominance of one over another numerically and derive priorities from such comparisons. That's deep. That's deep. Let's watch this little video. Maybe.
What are the laws of logic? There are
Look at this nerd. He's going to explain it to us.
3 fundamental, undeniable laws of logic which govern our reality and thought. These are universal laws presupposed by everyone, whether they realize it or not. We make use of them in our daily life without even thinking about them. And without presupposing these 3 simple logical laws, one cannot engage in meaningful conversation, let alone read.
Yes, and this is why when you talk to Freddie, it's just a bunch of nonsense, and it just boils down to name calling and blood sports and him interrupting and going because he doesn't use logic. He doesn't understand logic. And I know that the stuff I was just reading and the math equations makes it all really complicated. But I'm trying to learn about this so that I can then convert it into a more simplified explanation, because this stuff is real and it's true, whether you like it or not. You know, there are logical things and there are illogical things, and that's what this is about. And I want to learn about it so that I can explain it to people in a more simpler, dumbed down explanation.
Reason. So what are these 3 laws of logic? Number 1, the law of identity. P is P. Suppose that P
is P. Get your mind out of the gutter, Dean. I know this is going to be a tough one for you.
P is any indicative sentence, such as, it is raining.
It is raining. Rain is rain. P is P.
The law of
That's the law of identity.
Identity states that if a statement such as, it is raining, is true, then
there will be rain outside.
Is true. In other words, when we say something that's true.
So if it is raining outside and you say it is raining, your statement is true because it is raining. That's the law of identity. You see the identity of the rain, you make a statement based off your observation of the rain, and it's true because it is. That's the law of identity. And the law of non-contradiction says if I say it's raining, but it's not raining, then that would be a contradiction, because, or you're breaking the law of identity because you're lying. You're not telling the truth, which is illogical. It would be illogical to say it's not raining when it's raining outside. You understand?
Statements become truth. More generally, the law says that P is the same thing as itself and it's different from everything else. Applied to all reality, the law of identity says that everything is itself and not something else. Number 2, the law of non-contradiction. P is not non-P. The law of non-contradiction says that a statement such as "it is raining" cannot be true and false at the same time. Obviously, it can be raining in Washington and not raining in London at the same time. But the principle says that it cannot be raining and not raining at the same time in the same place. Number 3, the law of the excluded middle.
This is the one that confuses me. I don't understand this one.
Either P or non-P. The law of the excluded middle is very simple. It says that a statement such as "it is raining" is either true or false. There's no middle ground. There's no...
Oh, I like that. It's black and white. Pick a side. Hot or cold. No lukewarm. No gray area. No excluded. We're excluding the middle. It's either true or not. It's either good or evil. Right or wrong. God or Satan. Black or white. Up or down. Exclude that middle.
Alternative. And those are the 3 simple yet foundational logical laws by which we can have meaningful discussions and reason. For someone to deny these laws, they would be using the laws in the process, thus self-refuting them. For example, if someone were to...
So if you deny the laws of logic, you have to use the laws of logic in order to deny the laws of logic. So if you deny the laws of logic, you already lost the argument, because you have to use the laws of logic in order to deny the laws of logic. So you're refuting yourself.
Say there's no such thing as truth. That's a truth claim.
Right.
Laws of logic, which someone to...
That's so true. If you say truth is subjective, everybody's truth is their own truth. There's no such thing as objective truth. Well, you just made a truth claim that there's no such thing as objective truth. So you just contradicted yourself. How can you say that it's true that there's no such thing as truth? Doesn't make any sense. That's not logical.
To deny these laws, they would be using the laws in the process, thus self-refuting them. For example, if someone were to say there's no such thing as truth, that's a truth claim. So there's no such thing as truth except the truth that there is no truth. You see how ridiculous this sounds? The statement is a self-refutation.
Yes.
Of course, even God
because
cannot
it's illogical.
the logical laws. The logical laws are inherently...
So when he says God can't violate the logical laws, I saw a debate with, I think it was Jim Bob was debating a secular humanist. And the guy basically said, well, what if God told you to murder people? Would it be okay to murder people? The answer is yes. Why? Because God decides what's right and wrong. Now, if you don't believe in a God, you have no way to ground what's right and wrong, because we're all just chemical reactions. Our brain is fizzling. Jeffrey Dahmer, his thoughts that led him to do what he did are just a result of evolution and natural selection and time and his situation and his lifestyle, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff just culminated and led to Jeffrey Dahmer. And that was his life. Like he might have thought what he was doing was right. Maybe he didn't. Maybe, but some serial killers think that what they're doing is right. Some cannibals, if you're a secular humanist or you're an atheist, you have no way to justify why bestiality, cannibalism, or incest are wrong. As Christians, people who believe in God, we have a grounding for our morals. We can tell you why cannibalism, incest, and bestiality are wrong. But from an atheist perspective, you can't really say that that's wrong. And they'll say, there's no truth. And they'll say things like, well, if God told you to murder somebody, would it be right? And I would say yes. Why? Because God decides what's right and what's wrong. I don't decide what's right and what's wrong. God decides what's right and what's wrong, and I follow that. That's my grounding for my morals. So if God said that we need to wipe some people off the face of the earth, then that is good. That is good because God is good. But they can't figure that out because they don't have a grounding for their morals. Everything's just chance. There is no truth. We're all just a result of chemical reactions and synapses firing and neurons and blah, blah, blah.
Different from the natural laws. God may violate the natural laws, like suspend gravity, for example, but he cannot violate the logical law.
Murdering is the unjust killing of an innocent. Killing just means ending somebody's life. Killing could be justified. Murder implies unjust.
Laws. For example, not even God can create a rock that is too heavy for him to lift.
Right. So, and that's basically, if God told you to do it, does it make it okay? The answer is yes, but then he will ask these questions like, well, can God defy the laws of logic? The answer is no. God cannot defy the laws of logic. And then an atheist will say, but I thought God could do anything. Why can't God defy the laws of logic? Well, what they don't understand is that the question they're asking is illogical because God is logic. The laws of logic come from God. So if God defied the laws of logic, just that question is illogical. It goes against logic to ask that question, and it refutes itself. It's a stupid question, basically.
Because that's a logical contradiction. God, who is all-powerful, cannot create something which he is unable to overpower. Or not even God can create a square circle. Things like that, right? So that concludes my video.
Yeah, they always think they got you. They'll say, can God make a rock so big that he can't pick it up? And you say, if you say yes, God can make a rock so big that he cannot pick it up, they'll say, well, then he can't pick it up. He can't do everything. Or if you say, no, he cannot make a rock so big that he cannot pick it up, then they'll say, well, he can't make a rock so big that he can't pick it up. He can't do everything. They think that that's a gotcha, but really, it's just because they're illogical. And I told you there's no such thing as a smart atheist. If an atheist ever throws that question at you, just tell them that question defies the laws of logic, and God made the laws of logic. So he does logical things. And what you're talking about is some self-refuting impossibility. And you think it's clever, you think it's a gotcha, but it's not. It's just illogical and dumb for the atheists out there.
On the logical laws. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something.
I like that. He broke it down pretty good. So we got the equations. What time is it? What time it is? I think we read this, some of it. Apologetics, law of identity, law of non-contradiction. This is pretty much the same thing that guy just explained. The basic laws of logic are neither arbitrary inventions of God nor principles that exist completely outside of God's being. Obviously, the laws of logic are not like the laws of nature. God may violate the latter. So God can violate the laws of nature. God could do things like, when they say the world couldn't be young because of thermal radiation expanding rapidly, blah, 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 blah. Like God can make concessions for that. God can solve that problem. But God can't violate the laws of logic because he is logic. God may violate the latter, say suspend gravity, but he cannot violate the former. Those laws are rooted in God's own nature. Indeed, some scholars think the passage in the beginning was the word logos. It accurately translated in the beginning was logic. It's logic or knowledge. In the beginning was the word was God, and God was the word. The word there is logos, and that logos could be logic or it could be knowledge. God is knowledge, God is logic. Basically, that's what that. When people try to use that to prove the Trinity, they don't know what they're talking about, because what it's saying is that God is logic and God is knowledge, and Jesus is the Son of God, and he is also has the knowledge and the logic of his Father. A divine rational mind, for example, even God cannot exist and not exist at the same time. And even God cannot validly believe that red is a color and red is not a color. When people say that God need not behave logically, they're using the term in a loose sense to mean the sensible thing from my point of view. Right. So that's what Dean was talking about. When Dean said, I got to eat food, I got to go to work, I got to pay my bills. Isn't that logic? No, that's not logic. That's the sensible thing to do from your point of view. That makes sense, but that has nothing to do with the laws of logic. Often God does not act in ways that people understand or judge to be what they would do in that circumstance, but God never behaves illogically in the proper sense. He does not violate in his being or thought the fundamental laws of logic. And I agree with that. They'll say, God said don't murder, but then God told people to go murder people. Well, if God told them to go murder, or if God told them to go kill somebody, then that's not murder, because it's not an unjust killing. If God says those people need to get wiped out, go wipe them out, then that's not murder. That's a justified killing. Why is it just? Because God said so. Because God is just. God is logical. And that's why it makes sense. What are the 4 fundamental laws of logic? Law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, the law of sufficient reason or rational inference. So see, this one adds a different one. So you can find a lot of different ones of these, but pretty much for the most part, you're always going to see identity, non-contradiction, and excluded middle. But this one adds the law. The other one added the law of comparison. This one adds the law of sufficient reason or rational inference. There should be sufficient reason for all that happens. For instance, if the ground is wet, it must be due to fluid coming in contact with it. Okay. So these laws of logic, law of identity, law of non-contradiction, law of excluded middle. This is where it gets real complicated when you get into the math of it. And I'm not going to pretend to understand this stuff. I kind of do. And if I spent time focusing on it, absorption laws, negation laws, De Morgan's laws. And I saw Jay Dyer do a kind of a refutation of this, and he made his own formula, and it was pretty smart. Little above my when we bring math and letters and algebra into as if philosophy and theology and politics wasn't complicated enough. If we start putting algebra in it, you're losing me. You're losing me. But maybe we'll do during a game stream, we'll read more, we'll watch more videos. But I think that was a quick, a quick little research diving into it. And I want to wrap up before 10:30, so I know it's nerdy, boring, but we'll talk more about that. We'll watch some videos, and I want to be knowledgeable on the topic, so I'll have to spend more time. It defies gravity. Logic seems like the thought process of making sense out of life. No, that's more like philosophy. That's like philosophy. Logic is like something that just is. It just is. It's like logic isn't something that you study or you have to. This laws of logic, this stuff's complicated, and we're just learning about it because I'm interested in it. But you really don't need to know this stuff to have or not have. you can be a logical or illogical person and not have ever heard any of these laws of logic. Like, for the most part, if you're being logical, you're just naturally going to be using these things without even knowing it. If you're illogical, then you're going to be breaking these laws constantly. Like Freddie. When he says something super some major blatant contradiction and he doesn't see it, which he might be doing purposely just to troll. Dean is so philosophical. Yeah, Dean is definitely a philosopher. He'd be asking questions like, who started war? What was the creation of war? That's a philosophical question. What is war? What is love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. But that's all I got. That's all I got. I won't bore you guys too much with that logic stuff. I want to go eat some more food and then take a nap before I got to go to work in 4 hours. Take a little 2 or 3 hour nap. So I'm gonna head out, guys. I think when I get off work, I'm gonna come home, take a shower, and play some Terraria. Actually, I need to work on that flooring a little bit. Maybe I'll work on the flooring for 2 hours and then play some Terraria tomorrow, and then go to bed tomorrow at like 6 o'clock. So tomorrow, let's try for like tomorrow around 3, 4, 5 o'clock. I'm gonna play some Terraria. I need to play some Dragon Ball card game to practice for Nats because it's pretty much set in stone that I'm going to LA at the end of January. I haven't bought my plane ticket yet, but I got it saved. It's only $80. And I've ordered all the cards I need. I got my ticket. Got a place to stay at Freddie's house. All I got to do is buy the plane ticket, which is only $80. So I need to start practicing for the tournament so I can win some money. So maybe I'll play some Terraria and some Dragon Ball tomorrow. Maybe we'll watch some videos to learn more about the laws of logic. So come by tomorrow afternoon, probably after like Nick's stream, usually is when I get started, or after sometime around like 3 or 4 Mountain Time. Good night, JS and chat. Interesting show. God bless everyone. Later, be wise. Happy birthday. Yesterday, Stubborn One said it was your birthday, or on Saturday, he said it was your birthday, so I was singing you happy birthday, but I guess it was a joke. Yeah, the travel stream will be lit. I wish I would have started the job that I have now a month earlier when I was supposed to start it, because I would have liked to get a new cell phone before I went on the LA trip, because I'm going to get a nice cell phone with a nice camera and a lot more memory space, and it just would have looked better. And my phone is falling apart, so I hope it holds out enough for me to make the California videos look good, but we shall see. But it'll be fun. We can maybe do some IRL streams with Freddie. I'll probably be there Monday night, and I'll do the show from his place. It'll be a tag team back again. It'll be me and Freddie doing the Dreaded Conservative show from his house on Monday at the end of January, because I'm gonna stay there I'll get there Thursday night and I'll leave like Tuesday night. That way I get all day Friday and all day Monday to explore LA and do fun stuff, and then Saturday and Sunday is just the tournament stuff. So it should be cool. But hit the like button on your way out, guys. Check back on the stream tomorrow. Even if it's a Terraria gaming stream, we'll still be talking about interesting topics and watching the news and watching videos and all that cool stuff while we play the games. I need to practice for the tournament, so we'll do that. Come by tomorrow. Check it out. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Hit like button, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. The world's a crazy place. I just report on it. I'm out, guys. God bless. Have a good night. I'll catch you later. Peace.